I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is in your life's blueprint? This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And whenever a building is constructed, you usually have an architect who draws a blueprint. And that blueprint serves as the pattern, as the guide, as the model for those who are to build the building. And a building is not well erected without a good, sound, and solid blueprint. Now, each of you is in the process of building the structure of your lives. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Now, that means that you should not be ashamed of your color. You know, it's very unfortunate that in so many instances, our society has placed a stigma on the Negro's color. And you know, there are some Negroes who are ashamed of themselves. But don't be ashamed of your color. Don't be ashamed of your biological features. Somehow you must be able to say in your own lives and really believe it, I am black but beautiful. And believe it in your heart.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Shouts out to all of y'all out there. Shouts out to Shanique. I appreciate you for coming through. I'm glad you made it. Shouts out to my brother MD2. You know what I'm saying? Definitely subscribe to his channel. You know, I know he was going in. And if y'all want to talk about you know, because I wanted to talk about this again, but I also wanted to like say certain things, you know. But you know, I'm definitely glad that we had this discussion, you know what I'm saying? So all right, I'm gonna put the link in, and if somebody wanna come in, then y'all can come in and be a part of the discussion because I want to hear like what y'all have to say about, you know, this, you know, great awakening that we seeing maybe possibly taking place. So I want to know what y'all got to say about it. All right, so let me go with this. All right, so and I'm not gonna play this, but if you also had, because y'all missed that too, Jamie Foxx apologized for this. So if y'all want an opinion, but yo, I want you to check out this first, right? Because I want you to see something, and you'll get what I'm saying. All right, so this in NASCAR, right? This white boy got suspended for liking it's a dumb joke about, George Floyd. You feel me? And
over the past few years, as NASCAR has just gone completely downhill. They have lost the plot. They've gone full woke. They do not understand their audience. They're not listening to their fan base, and they've decided to embrace full-on identity politics. And now a driver has now been suspended for liking a meme that was.
There's always a brother that's somewhere around, like, to be playing these positions. I don't know what that brother
just too offensive. Take a look at this bullshit.
What up, bro?
NASCAR suspends driver for liking George Floyd meme. NASCAR Legacy Motorsports has suspended driver Noah Gragson for liking a social media post that mocked the death of George Floyd. Gragson is his first full season as a driver in the Cup Series. Quote, "We have made the decision to suspend Noah Gragson effective immediately regarding his actions that do not represent the values of our team. Josh Berry will drive the number 42 entry for this weekend's NASCAR Cup Series race in Michigan." Now, they didn't really mention how long he's going to be suspended for, but he did respond and, said, "Hey, I'm disappointed in myself." He's apologizing, basically. I understand the severity. I love and appreciate everyone. I try to treat everyone equally.
This is the tweet here.
This is it. Y'all suspended this dude because he liked this meme. Now, I can't actually confirm or deny this meme may have been created during Friday Night Tights. I actually may have happened, all right? May have been the Legion meme. This gets you NASCAR. If he had liked a meme making fun of Donald Trump getting arrested, shit. But here's woke fucking NASCAR virtue signaling. And they has determined
it's way worse than that.
That
is ridiculous. I've seen memes way worse than that.
Yes. Absolutely. And again, is that a tasteful meme? No, it's not a tasteful meme, but it's
funny, right? It's funny.
Actually I believe they're trying to pander to the woke leftists out there. Newsflash, woke leftists don't like NASCAR. They ain't supporting you at all.
And Negroes don't like NASCAR.
Joke. See, guys.
And then you see, calling NASCAR relevant is like calling George Floyd an American hero. See, he needs to sue them. You can't suspend someone for stating an opinion or liking something. I'll tell that to all the Negro people. But and I'm planning, and I wanted to show you this, right? Because now Elon Musk, after this happened, right? So now he's offering to pay legal bills for people fired over Twitter activity. So pretty much because of his suspension, he's willing to pay their legal fees. Or for anybody else, So I'll call Kyrie Irving and tell him to hit him up and let him pay these legal fees. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to show you that, like, you see, like, they will pay and put money and stuff behind the stuff that they do. And let me play just a minute.
If you get into trouble for something you tweeted or posted on social media at work, Elon Musk says he'll pay for your legal fees. Musk says X, formerly known as Twitter, will take care of the legal costs of any users who get into trouble with their boss for their activity on the app. The tech mogul also assured users there is, quote, "no limit on the amount of money the company will cover." Joining us now to cover this is...
All right, yo. Well, forget about this dude, but you hear that, he said there's no limit to what they will do to, back who they want to back at the end of the day, right? Because that is what the army do. Now, I'm gonna get to what y'all, and hopefully y'all come on, because I want to talk about this. Shanique is in the building. What's going on, Shanique? Hopefully MG2, Bukari, and them show up and they come in too. Yo, what's going on, Shanique and Cassandra?
Hey, Forecast. You see, everything is everything right now. I'm just glad to be able to catch this this presentation you're giving and to talk about the energy, and hopefully that energy keeps going. People realize that we are actually family.
Oh, my bad. I was mute. My bad. You didn't hear the video either, Shanique? Or MD2?
No.
Oh, okay. My bad. I was talking about it. Oh yeah, I was saying, well, as far as like, but MD2, you wanted to say something before I go into that? Because I'm kind of glad you came on, because I didn't say what I was saying.
Oh yeah. I caught you from the jump, man. It was especially part of what Martin Luther King was saying. Kind of just brings back things of saying I like the dichotomy of when he was talking about how one looks at themselves. That's what I perceive. And then in the meantime, you juxtapose that with what happened in that video today. It's just wonderful. It just makes you just go, wow. But anyways, no, go ahead and play it, man. I was just, I'm just chiming in.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, and I showed that at the beginning, and that'll come back up. But what I was saying about this, right? Because one thing I do have to say, because I just first of all, y'all funny as hell out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all is straight hilarious, But also, man, to the amount of us are saying like that'd be like, oh, I don't condone violence. I like, yo, that like maybe we should watch our tongue when we say, I know you don't condone violence. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in the position that we in. But think about it, you're in a place that spends its most money on what, and have always done what. So like it depends on one's definition of violence, because as we know, this here is self-defense. But when people say that, I'm saying, like, come on, like, yeah, we understand what the time it is, and all of them can get it, you know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful to see the unity. Y'all got anything to say before I play the video? Y'all can tell me when to stop and go too if y'all want to add commentary.
Yeah, go ahead and play the video.
Okay. All right, and then y'all let me know when to stop and go. Now you see that, like, MD2, you was breaking it down, like when you were saying, like, now you see the brother, he tried to sneak him, you know what I'm saying, but he still couldn't do nothing with the brother. And then the brother started, he was about to do what he does, and obviously you see his neck is red, you know what I'm saying? So, but you see, the brother was taking him down, and then look who ran up on the scene, you feel me? Yo, MD2, would have swam over there?
Man, I'll put it this way there, Brother Forecast. See, in their Olympics, they got Mark Phelps. But our Olympics, we've got Marquise Phelps. Because that young brother, he got there so quick, man. I was like, man. Like I said, he's the black torpedo, man.
And he actually does have a trail coming from behind him. He was going so fast, like, and that's crazy. A 16-year-old who is at work, you know what I'm saying, and he jumped in the water to go help the next man. And and MD2, when you asked them like early before, like, do you patrol your neighborhood? Like, even if you just got a whistle and blow your whistle when you see something going on, like that's what I'm saying. Is not even like take that much courage. It's just, is being in the situation and being down for whatever, you know what I'm saying? But and also, man, this is why you want to be in shape. You never know, because like I know we all was like, man, I wish I could have jumped in. So like, let's make sure we can in case that ever happens where you at, But to be fair, I would have waited till the boat docked. Now you go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's all about doing the right thing. Okay, I mean, even if everyone was just, if there was a bunch of Mexicans fighting each other, when you see 3 or 4 individuals trying to go ahead and gang up on one individual, this one was 5, ganging up on one dude who was just doing his job, common sense would just tell you to do the right thing. The thing is if you're black and you see something like that, doing the right thing should come naturally. It's like if you ever watch nature and you see the hyenas and you see the lions, the hyenas just don't sit back and say, "Oh yeah, that one lion's just going to," they act as a group, because they know through nature, through millions of years of nature, hey, we're built to fight these other things that don't look like us. And this is the first time that I could say that our nature, our natural instincts, I say first time in a long time that our natural instincts took over. And then we had, that Aquaman go ahead and do what he had to do and tread some water and kick some ass. I'll go ahead and pass the mic.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Cassandra came on here too. I'm glad you came on, Cassandra. You seen the video? I know you've seen it now.
Oh my God, I am loving life. I am loving life. Oh my God, this made my day. I saw it last night when you played it, right? And I had to get up this morning to really watch it. And I tell you what, I have been on cloud 9 all day. I'm like, Lord, Black folk getting on cold. Hope this is the first of many ash whoopings. I'm sorry. I love it. This was the best ever. I have not seen something so amazing. I mean, almost like, how you shouting at church in the old days. I almost had to give a little shout on today. I'm loving it. Okay, I'll pass my mic.
Yeah, definitely. Shanique, you wanted to say something?
Oh yeah, you know what? That's the thing that was stuck with me today, was that I think the drum beat is building, that we seem to, and I felt like it had to happen in the South, because the energy of Black people recognizing, okay, we can't just sit back and let a brother of ours be attacked and we stand there and let it happen. That's not something you see in cities so much. People just become so separate, like they care less. Oh, well, that's they fight, not my fight. But that's not how it is in the South. Like they said, a small town, we are a small town in every place in the South. They're not finna let you just sit here and attack us and we just go, oh, okay. So I'm hoping that energy that keeps building and people realize, hold on, I'm Black before I'm a professional. I'm Black before I'm a doctor. I'm Black before I'm anything. And start recognizing that we have to come in the defense of one another, because that's exactly what was happening. That little boy, he couldn't help himself from jumping off that boat and getting into the water, because it was like, hold on, this ain't right. I was surprised more didn't do it, because this ain't right. And we have that innate desire to act upon our innate sense of right and wrong. That is something that is not foreign to us. We know when something's right and wrong. You don't have to ask, oh, what do you think? No, we know. So they all knew. They were saying it from the moment. And the fact that they came like a pack of wolves, it had to be stopped. It had to be stopped. And I'm glad that it did. And now the very thing they feared, it seems to be happening. So here we are. What you came for.
Yeah.
And boy, they got it, didn't they? They didn't expect that. They did not expect that. When they saw all them Black folk coming, they was like, what in the? They didn't know what to do. They was like, oh my God, I think we stepped on a man here. You should have saw. Boy, they looked like they was like, oh my God. Look, Forecast, talk to me about what's that song the dude, the country singer was singing about the small town. Don't try it here. Yeah. What was it? Remember the white guy, the small, you was talking about the small
Try
town.
that in a small town. Yes. Yeah, Jason Aldean. Mm-hmm. Yep, they got it.
Woo, let me hear them sing that song now. They tried it and they got okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if Montgomery is a small town, but they tried it in Montgomery and we saw what happened, And so yeah.
I think it's gonna turn into a F around and find out.
Yeah.
Man, I'm loving it. Oh my God. I'm gonna try to contain myself. I am just so proud of Black people today. I mean, I'm hoping that this is going to be many more to come of teamwork. You know what I'm saying? And I wish that, remember the kids got, the lady put her hands on 2 kids the other day. I wish somebody at that pool could have handled some business. besides sitting there looking at this white woman put her hands on 2 black children. I don't know what the parent was, but it just, I mean, we have to do this globally. This has got to happen globally. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead,
like I said, yeah, I mean, it's true, you know, and I think that right now, I think that we are in an inspired moment where we might actually do something right now if we can like capitalize on it, you know. But yo, let me keep playing it, and then y'all can stop whenever y'all want to point out something specific that you want to mention. So somebody say, you know how mad you got to be to go swim, pull yourself up off the pier, and then go fight somebody? You know how determined you got to be? That's crazy. Listen to it. You can hear it.
They should have snatched everybody off of that boat. They
Yo, the dude was rocking the boat.
Everybody should have been coming out of that boat. Mm-hmm. Did you see the white woman getting ready to jump over there with the green? Look like she getting ready to jump.
Yeah, I think she got beat up like 5-6 times. And
no, she helped beat the man, the black guy out. She was helping.
Well, she gonna get what it got what's coming to her though.
Go ahead, okay.
Yo, look at the brother too. He is holding the boat from pulling off. Like that was funny. Dude says it looked like he pulled the engine out the boat or something, like on some Hulk stuff.
They scared. Look at them. They scared. Woo! Beat their ass. Woo! Oh my God. Woo! That what you get. That what you get. That what you
And consider, you see how as Shanique, y'all see how the sisters jumped in there, right? When the white bitch tried to jump in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
On a piece of the action, they're gonna get a piece of it.
That's right. You know we don't mind.
On site.
Oh man, they jumped all the way in it, didn't they? I mean, just wow. It was just like, oh my God, just music to my eyes. Loved it. Loved it.
Music.
This is what's that song? This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Oh gosh, I was trying to contain myself from my kids. I was trying not to be too excited.
We should be excited. Yo, MD2, like, yo, this remind me of that scene in the Deacons of Defense, and that dude of that movie remind me of you. He was like, man, I've been waiting all my life to see a day like this. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel you. I'm just like, you know, my favorite moment of that MMA match, of that cage match, was when Becky got her face rearranged by a lawn chair. I mean, I'm still wondering. I'm telling brother Forecast, it's either an IKEA, and I'm trying to find that exact model either from them or Home Depot. Because if I find that model, I'm gonna go ahead and buy like 3 of them just to go ahead and honor. Because if it was the sister that ended up doing the WWE thing with the chair, I mean, what's there not to love? I mean, I'll pass the mic.
Oh man.
I gotta get me a couple of them chairs. I'm gonna put 2 on my front porch and then put 2 on my back porch. So we're echoing.
All right. Let me see.
Oh, ass up. She whooping her ass. She better put her in the water. In the water. In the water. Ass up. Cause y'all were wrong.
See, that's the dude who got out the water. Now you see he is doing something, you know what I'm saying? Like, not just getting out the water just to go out there. He putting in work.
Y'all were wrong.
Now look at this right here. You see these 2 white boys then walked up. Now look at this whole pack right here. What does that look like to you? That's crazy right there, you know? What do y'all think about that?
It looked like pure stupidity on the white boys' parts because, to be honest with you, why they wanted any parts of this, I have no idea. That would have been the time to walk on and mind your white business, but they didn't. So whatever comes after that happens.
Damn. It is pretty intimidating to see all these brothers running up, and now it ain't so funny no more,
Now it's serious.
Mm-hmm. Yo, MG2, what you think about that? Like, you see all these 5 brothers right here, maybe 6, Oh, nah, there's 5 brothers just front row. What do you think about that? I don't know, MG2. Yeah, MG2, you hear me?
Yeah, I was muted. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it was like different teams were coming in. I mean, I like that stuff because it reminds me of nature. You know how stuff is like if you watch like Discovery Channel, and you see that like a certain, like it might be 2 different lion prides, and then all of a sudden another one will come in because the hyenas are there, and then them hyenas get their asses whooped. That's what that kind of reminded me of. I mean, it was like instinctual. If we could start living like that, Brother Forecast, on the regular, on instinct, I think a lot of our problems would be solved, even if it's against so-called cops or anybody else. I think a lot of the things it would be a lot easier because then, we're just going to act on instinct. We see somebody doing something wrong, we're just going to go ahead and fix the problem. And that's what I love. Them brothers, especially the ones that they came in without their shirts, that, they didn't go there just to go ahead and vacation. When you take off your shirt, you're ready to put in some work. And that's what I love. I just love a good brawl. And them brothers, man, like I said, it renewed my faith in a lot of things. I'm sitting there. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and use that whole brawl as my ringtone. So it's like, that way I can get up and I'll use it as my alarm. I get up in the morning and I'll just start hearing, especially the sister was talking about the brother that was swimming across the dock. Anyways, I'll pass the mic there.
Yeah. Consider you wanted to say something?
I'm just so happy. I don't know how to act. I don't even know what to say. I just want to look again. Let's just see it again.
Oh man.
I think I could just sit here and watch this just like a movie. Let's just watch it. You know what I'm saying? I want to just see count the different punches that the brothers threw. You know what I'm saying? And how many times that dude hit the white guy with the chair. That was the best part. And that demon kept coming, didn't he?
You know what was going on.
Go give me a couple of them chairs. Just put them on display. Oh man, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just so tickled. I don't know if I could contain myself.
All right, hold on. Here it goes. I'm gonna keep playing it.
Yeah. Get in their ass. Oh, look at the bras. The bras jumping their ass. Because y'all were wrong for jumping on that black man like that, baby. What y'all thought was going
Now this is what I like to see. It's like when that old man stuff, y'all, I know some of y'all, like, when you have like an old father or grandfather, when they get a hold of you, you know what I'm saying? They be like, boy, don't make me, Now he got that serious old man strength.
Yes.
He got him in the grip.
He about to choke him to death, wasn't he?
Yep.
See, that's the beautiful thing.
He got that daddy grip. Boy, you don't know what you Oh my God, that is so funny. Look at the grip.
I'll strangle you right here, boy.
Right where you stand.
I like the commentator, the girl that commentate. That is the
right,
best right there.
Boop,
the woman that sits up there, she boop, boop.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my
her. She would commentate every time she said it. I was thinking it.
Yeah,
oh my God, this is amazing. It was amazing.
That's
Oh
crazy.
my God,
From
we're gonna have
like,
to play this. This needs to be something. I am hoping and praying that this is going to take fire globally, across the nation. Across the nation. This is, I want them to think the next time they walk up on a brother, before you attempt to walk up on a brother and hit him for whatever reason, you need to have a reason to. You just thought he had no help. When they seeing all them jumping, coming to the defense, they was like, oh my God. Can you imagine what they was thinking when they saw all these black folk coming at them? They was like, oh my God, where they coming from? It was just so many of them. Can you imagine what they must have felt? The sheer terror.
Parachuting out the sky.
Terror. Yeah.
Coming from all over. That's what it is, though.
Oh man, they
Like,
were coming from all angles. All angles.
and it just kept coming.
Oh man,
And that's the beautiful thing, from an older brother right here to the 16-year-old
right
jumping
there,
in the water. Ain't that something?
Yes.
That's a beautiful
Yes.
thing.
I'm telling you, these young folk don't care. These young folk gonna make it happen. I'm serious. They gonna think twice. They gonna think twice globally about this right here. They gonna think twice. They gonna think twice.
They will.
Hit them again.
Yeah. Yo, MD2, I know you know about
Hit
that
'em
old
again.
man strength when you get grabbed up by your grandfather or something.
Exactly. You know, they have a thing called old man strength. Old man strength, a lot of folks don't talk about it and don't know about it, but it's true. You know, the older you get, especially like you get up in your 50s and 60s, you got this little extra thing, and it's like being pissed off for so long that all of a sudden, and it just comes out of the blue. And that old man looked like he was going. The brother, I shouldn't say old because he's probably younger than I am, but he looked like he was ready to go in. I mean, this is like I say, this is just kind of I just love watching stuff like this because it just we lose that fear, and that's all I want is for us to stop being scared and just do what's natural. If we got to kick some ass, damn it, kick some ass. They bleed too. Why not? It ain't nothing like a good scrap. I know I'm a hothead. I've been in a lot of situations. So what? But then at least you're going to get out, in the joint, they call it recreational activity. You're going out to do some rec. Hey, if you got to put in that work, damn it, put in that work. Don't be scared. And then who knows? One thing I'd like to see is I think that sister who is commentating needs a job at ESPN, or maybe even at the Final Four or something like that, because I'm just loving her blow by blow. It's unmatchable.
Yes, blow by blow. She was boom, boom, boom. Man, I loved it. I loved it. She just made it that much more exciting. Oh my goodness. I could watch this all day and all night. This was the best movie ever.
Mm-hmm. Other older brothers jump in. Now look at this. Now these sisters put in beautiful. I'm gonna play this real quick. The sisters put in like beautiful work right here, and that's like they talk about this gender war, but you already know if it go down, then everybody's down. You know what I'm saying? But these sisters put in some beautiful work. The sister in the white was kicking her, while the other one was punching her. He was like, it was a coordinated strike right there.
Oh my God, that is that's beautiful.
Yeah, you see how quick the sisters rolled up when the white bitches jumped in. You seen how quick the sisters rolled up. You know what I'm saying? That's a great thing. They be talking about like we divided and stuff, but when they go down, you're not.
Look at her.
All right, and then it does beg the question because everybody gonna use this as an excuse, and then some of the black cops didn't even break it up, but some of them did, and then some of these black cops is gonna have to make a decision. Go ahead, MD2.
Yeah, well, one thing that I love is it shows you reality, and reality is not being online. And here's what I mean. I bet you every one of them folk that went in, including Aquaman, that went ahead and decided he was going to put in some work. I'll bet you $1,000 that they don't even know what being uncode is. We see that online everywhere, and everybody talks about, you got to be uncode, or whatever. And I may be wrong, but I'm willing to make a wager that not one of them black folk know what being uncode is. They just naturally did it. It wasn't something they had to go ahead and search on Google. They just went ahead and said, hey, wait a minute. I need to get some rec time in. I haven't done my Pilates and I haven't done some calisthenics. I might as well go ahead. I've been wanting to go ahead and lose a little weight. Get in some. Do some HIIT stuff. A little HIIT workout. Why not? Why not go ahead and swim the English Channel? See if this works. I mean, it just shows that when you act on instinct, especially when we act on instinct, man, miracles happen. I got to tell you. And I won't say it's a miracle. It's just common sense. We saw Peckerwood decided he was going to go ahead and try to be Tyson Fury. And then he got the Fury knocked out of it. Not just him, but all his buddies. And even, the skipper, the SS Minnow that tried to pull his boat away. It was like, hey, him and Gilligan didn't make it out of the port this time. It's like, hey, all I could say is this is probably one of the funnest days I've had probably in the last 6 months. Anyways, I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, exactly. So what do y'all think about that? Considering, like, especially with the black cops, and
I think they should have stood down for a minute.
Right.
I think they moved too fast, and then they went to arrest. Nobody went to arrest the white boys when they were sitting up there beating on our brother. Didn't see a cop in sight. But now all of a sudden you got black cops there. You know what I'm saying? Still, sometimes you just have to stand down. Because if it had been white cops, what would they have done? They'd have stood down if it was, all them white boys on top of black. You know what I'm saying? They would have stood down. We know that. So they have to learn how to be on code too. Yes, I know you doing your job over there, but sometimes just stand back. What did they do at the White House, June 6th? Those officers helped. They didn't get in there and was trying to risk their life, did they? You had one fool, he did, and he dead. But the other folks was doing what? They stood down. There's too many of them out here. I would have been like, look, I ain't risking my life. They're going to be all right. This was one fight that should have happened. Continuously. Until they got tired. That's build up. But I respect.
Yeah.
I think NBC, could you mute real quick? Go ahead, Shanique.
Yeah, no, I agree. I felt like they should have taken their time. They should have moseyed along. They should have acted like, I don't know what I can do. Because that's what happens when it's the other way around. You see police and they don't seem to know what to do in that moment. And I don't understand how you see that the odds are on your favor. Then in that instance, you know what? We were overwhelmed. They could have been afraid for their life for a moment. They could have said that honestly and then been fine with it. But instead it's, we got jobs. You can get jobs. I don't understand why they didn't do that. But I mean, it is what it is sometimes with these people. I think the one thing though, is that this energy that's going on, I feel like I pray it carries over. I feel like it's just the time. I think that the whispers we hear in Africa where they're upset and in Haiti where people are upset, like this energy is one of, hold on, we've had enough. We all know what's going on. We all see that it's because we're black. We all understand that we're being oppressed. And the funny thing is that we don't have to be. Because in that instance, when they could have sat there and watched that man continue to be attacked by a pack of wolves, they realized, hold on, we don't have to. What's holding us back? Nothing. So we need to recognize that and kind of unleash the chain off our brains and our minds of the idea that there's something that's stopping us from doing what we know is right. We have every right to do what is right. I think that clip that you showed in the beginning, it's funny that I never heard that speech from Martin about having a belief that it's good that you are who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I think a lot of people, including those cops, may be very much ashamed of being Black. In that instance, in that moment, they were like, what? We're standing up for actual right. We all know that that was the right thing to do. There was no question. If you had flipped it and asked white people what they thought the right thing to do in that instance, they would have told you, oh, they should have done this. There you go. So we're doing what's right, and we will do it continually. Every time it happens, that's what's going to happen. You're going to see, and I'm speaking truth to power, you're going to see Black people stand up for other Black people on principle of the fact that this is the right thing to do. Because we say something when we do something wrong. We're the first one, oh, they shouldn't do that. That's not okay. Well, stand up when you see someone being attacked and it's not right, and it's your brother. And if you're not related, but you both Black, period.
Yeah, facts. MG2, did you want to say something?
Man, ladies, thank you for clarifying and giving me a sense of clarity and some knowledge, because, you know, you guys said something that's so important that Cassandra said 5 of the most important words I probably heard in my entire life. One fight that should have happened. That right there tells you everything. It reminds me of like Nat Turner, Gabriel Prosser, then Mark Vesey, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Brother Khalid Muhammad, Colin Ferguson, Mark Essex. It just, the list goes on. One fight that should have happened. And, and hopefully, and I might be wrong, but hopefully those cops that decided they were going to do, because they were on code, but they were not on code for us. They were on code in terms of what they were indoctrinated. We see Black folk doing something, we have to go attack them. Hopefully they now got a sense of, hey, wait a minute, hopefully we could have deprogrammed them by seeing the actual facts of what went down. Then they could say, oh, wait a minute, okay, we thought that it was just this, and now we see it's this. Hopefully that, and I may be, it might be Pollyannish on my part, but hopefully that, that's a sense of deprogramming, and they can get on code on the right side of the code. And I'm talking about these cops. Because they are in code, but they're in code for what they've been trained to do, and that's fight their own. What Shanique was saying, again, you guys give me so much knowledge. Shanique was saying, especially when she brought up Africa and Haiti, can you imagine? Like I mentioned earlier, their brother Forecast, if some of these African YouTubers, like your Swahili nations and your Tuna Chekis and everything else, if they went ahead and got down into this video. And then this video, by some chance, gets over there to like Niger and gets over there to Senegal and Mali and other areas where we're kicking out these peckerwoods out of these countries. Can you imagine, the sentiment? Like Shanique was saying, this is a growing thing. Can you just imagine, instead of taking a picture with somebody with their knee on your neck for 9 minutes, somebody decides to go ahead and justify the issue. And instead of Derek Chauvin going to jail, his name is now a name of a street. Can you imagine when we start to wake up and many of these other folks start to have their names as a name of a street? Because what happens when a cop's, there's two things. And I brought this and I taught you guys before, because there's a guy that used to, he's one of the most famous bagpipe players in the world. He was a good friend of my mom and dad's, a brother out of Philly. And I had brought this thing to you guys called bagpipes. And, because he was the one who actually taught me. And the thing is bagpipes should be something of a national anthem. Matter of fact, we should be doing remixes on bagpipes. And the reason I had to bring this to you guys several years ago is because anytime when one of these peckerwoods, especially the ones in the blue uniforms that go ahead and kill us on the regular, any times that they end up missing or they end up in a grave, they have to they play bagpipes. And so that's the first thing that I did is I said, wait a minute, Rufus Harley was a good friend of my mom and dad's. He was one of the most famous Black jazz bagpipes players in the world, taught me. And I think that this is an inspiration moment for bagpipes, not only for them peckerwoods on that boat, but the next time a Derek Chauvin or Joseph Wulikli or Ron Metzerle or a Tim Loeman or whoever else, or Amber Geiger decides that she wants to go ahead and, do what they do. Well, hey, let's be inspired to do what we got to do. I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, so let me see if there's any more on this right here.
They gonna get him a felony. Oh my God!
I'm finna give him a felony, shouter. All right, and then there was also another part where a white boy.
Go back to when they pushed that woman down. Go back to that part.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, go back to that part where they pushed it.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Going to jail. Oh my God!
There you go. There you go. I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's
we don't start it, but we finish it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. You know. Go ahead.
Go ahead, MG2. Oh no, I'm just enjoying it's my evening entertainment. There's no need for Netflix. We already got it here. This is your Amazon Prime.
And you know what's crazy, right? They had a hey, could you mute real quick? They had it was the longer video. It shows where the white boy tried to go up the thing. And the other brothers was like, "No, where you going? Go back down there," and all that other stuff. But it's definitely a longer video of this. This just shows like the highlights of it. But this is a beautiful thing. And another thing that I do, like, even though like when I be talking about the historical stuff, like this is what I'm trying to show you. Like this happens, like, well, not for like my probably lifetime, but like this happened periodically throughout history, like all the time. Black people stood up and whooped their ass just like we seen today. Sometimes with guns, sometimes not with guns. You know what I'm saying? This isn't nothing new. Like, and then to see this video, it shows like what we could do when we really want to. Like, we cannot be stopped in no kind of fashion, as long as we get all of that stuff out, and point it in the right direction and understand what time it is, But I'm gonna show something else before we get off of here. Well, like about this. Do y'all want to say any last words about the video?
Say one thing. What happens if this goes viral, global? Mm-mm. If this type of behavior goes global, these crackers won't be able to do nothing to stop it. We have to understand when they keep telling you that you're 13%, we're not 13%. We have to get it in our heads. 13% means that we have not grown. We've not had births. We've not nothing. That's not true. Every other culture that have come here, we've been here, God, 500 years? Every culture that's been here, that's not been here as long as we've been here, has grown. So we're the only culture that is still at 13%. Are they serious? And are we crazy for even believing it? Why would you believe anything that comes out of their mouths? We are not 13%. Exactly. So we have to understand that and get used to saying that we're more higher than that. It's got to be 50%? It's not 13% anything. You know how many died last year of oxy and all this fentanyl stuff? Okay, meth and all that. We can't be 13%. They're not even reproducing. We're reproducing, you guys. And why you think everybody that comes here that's not Black, they put them into their ranks? Because they're growing their numbers like that. But they're not. We're not just 13%. So we have to unlearn that. I pass my mic.
Yeah, well, let me ask you, Cassandra, and then Shanique, and then I already asked MG2. I'm gonna ask you again, MG2. Like, now I seen somebody was talking about what's going on in Africa with certain countries and like what they're doing with the French and other Europeans, and some say that this may be like this quote unquote global. I say clarity, a moment of clarity. Hopefully, is a lifetime of clarity, But this is a global moment where Black people is realizing that the time is now to do what we have to do. Like, so what do y'all think about this with what we see here and then what we see what's going on with Black people globally? Do you think it's like connected, or do you think it's like, how do you feel about that, Cassandra?
This is biblical. We are at Black folk tired for one. Niger is biblical. They're kicking out everybody that's not Black, that don't belong there. About time. But I'm gonna tell you what, this is the time. I've been asking my husband, I said, where's the Black Moses? Where's the Moses at? You know what I'm saying? This is going global, okay? Because remember, last week, France was up in an uproar. Remember, because they shot some little boy, right? They was burning up France for a long time. Wasn't it for like a month at least? I don't know if they're still doing it because I haven't heard anything. But this right here, okay, now everybody is seeing this, okay? When Black folk in America rise up, the whole globe will rise up because they watch us. They watch us. We're the trendsetters. Remember that. We're the salt of the earth. Okay? Everybody's watching us. This right here, let's watch and let's wait and see for the next one because it's coming. It's coming one after the other. They gonna fall. And they know it. And it ain't nothing they can do about it because it's all biblical. Let's enjoy, get your popcorn, and enjoy the ride. Because I swear I am. I'm so excited, I don't know what to do. And this is not the first or the last. Let's enjoy it. What kind of popcorn y'all like? Treats on me.
So what you think, Shanique?
Oh, goodness. If Cassandra could stop walking around in my head, because the truth says all I was thinking the whole while was Judah's a lion's whelp. Who shall rouse him? Every country that has Black people in it looks to the ones here in this.
Shanique, you cut out. I think she
actually followed that. They're like, why? They can see it's crazy. So now that we're not, so now that there's a little bit of a stir, oh, the momentum has to go. It's just the time for it to happen. It's the time for it to happen. And believe you me, the rest of the world will follow that has melanin in it. And that's been what they've been fearing. That's the fear, because truth of the matter is, even if we did believe their lies about statistics, it don't take many of us. That's what they found out this day. They found out that all we need is a handful. If everybody on that boat would have gotten off, forget it. They'd have really had their tea party. It'd have been a whole nother story. And that's what they're afraid of. So what we have to understand is we got to keep this momentum. I don't care how you do it, whisper it, speak it, encourage it to every person. You remember that time? You remember that time? Because they'll let you not forget their issues. Oh, never forget the Holocaust. Nonsense. How about never forget the day we said no friggin' more? No more. And then maybe other people will say no more, not to one another, not to because of a block, not to because of a project, not to because of my man, not to because of my baby daddy, but because you did something to Black people and I happen to be one of them as well. And we're not finna stand for it. Simple. I real.
Yeah. So MG2, what do you think about all of that and what I just asked?
Like I said, these sisters are giving me so much knowledge, man. I mean, I'm like trying to get a PhD course in reality right now. You know, when sisters get biblical, you know things are, you know, it's about to go down. I mean, Sister Cassandra said it's like Moses, and you know we need a Moses. I'm gonna tell you, I saw one. I saw a young brother that was parting the water to go ahead and put in some work. He did more than Charlton Heston in that movie. He went in. I was like, man, he was leaving a trail. I said, ain't that Moses out there? I gotta tell you. See, what it is, Brother Forecast, I'm glad you said it's like a moment of clarity. Let me tell you what it is. We're in the age, and I said this many a live stream that I do when I start talking all kinds of crap. We're in the age of settling scores. That's all it is. There's a score to be settled. Ours just been building up for over 6,000 years. And there's, you know, it's like the mafia. We're out there to settle some scores. And like Dr. Bobby E. Wright said, blood debts can only be repaid in blood. And the thing is one thing that Dr. Bobby E. Wright said at one of the end of his lectures, and I always like to say this, it's not just about, you know, there's only two things that actually really matter. Spike Lee did a movie called Do the Right Thing, even though that was kind of, you know, I mean, it was fun and it made us feel good for a few years. But, you know, at the end of the day, doing the right thing is just two simple things that Dr. Bobby Wright said. One is you got to get justice. And the more important thing, you got to get revenge. And what I saw there was both. We have, I mean, you saw a brother that was getting, you know, that was getting ganged on by a bunch of hyenas, by a bunch of chimpanzees. And doing justice is bringing Moses out there to part the waters, and Marquise Phelps to go ahead and put in some work. But then getting revenge is when you saw all the rest of them brothers and sisters that came in and says, "Oh, hell no." So like I said, when sisters get biblical, you're about to listen to some truth. I'll go ahead and pass the mic there, Brother Forecast.
All right. So let me bring this up because y'all both mentioned it, and Shanique said something a while ago that made me want to talk about it because when this young brother is swimming across there, what if it's like 2 brothers swimming across or like 3? That's like, how much I would probably be like a little bit terrified, like, yo, it's really going down right now. Like, not to like, well, I guess excited would be the right word, but that's the thing. Like, yo, imagine if it was like 2 or 3 of these young brothers, and go ahead.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because isn't this like they're always talking about how black folks are afraid of water, that we don't swim. Well, I think that's been debunked. Okay, I think that given the right motivation, I think we could swim across the English Channel. So hopefully this will inspire some more black folk to get some swimming lessons, because I think that given the right motivation, I think that I think we can. We'll figure that out. Anyways, I'll pass the mic there, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, definitely. And I heard somebody say, yo, we need like 1,000 more of these young brothers. I would disagree. I say we need like 100,000 more at the very least, not just 1,000 more young brothers just like this. And maybe you should use this young brother who pulled himself up, and then did what he had to do. But this also goes into what Cassidra's talking about when you go into the schools to like with the young boys, and he should definitely hold swimming lessons. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's his, gift. And so I wanted to show this young brother here, and I showed the thing earlier about how like Elon Musk and how they do with their people, they raise up the money that they need for all of this stuff. And it's one thing that black people have been doing is supporting this young brother here. His name is like Aaron, of course they didn't want to put him out there. And so he's like, yes, black folk indeed do swim and defend ourselves and all others. Well, I don't know what that all others mean, but people are calling him the Black Aquaman, but I like the Black Torpedo better. But they're literally demanding his Cash App so they can donate to his future, And this is the thing, using the brothers that we need to go into these schools or like to be in our communities, you also do probably need to like find ways to like pay them and stuff like this. But like supporting young brothers who do like, and I'm glad that a lot of people is supporting his Cash App, because he may have gotten fired for doing this. Even though he's 16, this might be a summer job. He may have gotten fired for jumping in the water to go help this other brother, this older brother. You know what I'm saying? And so,
if they fire him, we know something. Seriously, nobody out there should be getting fired of anything because of the fact that brother, the security guard, was doing his job. And what are we going to sit in there and just watch them beat him half to death? No, nobody should be losing their jobs. Period.
And if they did, we should make them hold accountable as to no, This is not okay. We're not going to accept it. No.
Exactly. Shut the boats down. That's right. Shut it down. That's
there
right.
It is.
Shut it down. We have the authority to shut it down. We just saw how we can come together, and I want them to take this further. And what I'm saying is bringing us together to help us to understand how much power we as Black folk possess. I hope this is showing us how much power we possess. You remember with the chicken sandwich and how and Nike, how when the dude that knelt and Nike started, we poured into Nike and Nike made so much money with their stock. You know what I'm saying? This should show you how much power we possess. Black folk ain't no punks now. We know how to come together when we need to. And I think we've saw it tonight. We know how to get on code. It's already in us. It's already in us. They try to beat us out of it. They try to burn it out of us. They try to hang it out of us. You cannot, because it's still there. Because when it needed to come out, Black folk came to each other's rescue tonight. We represented love. We represented togetherness. We represented it tonight, no matter what. And I seen a black man talking about, he was one of them foreigners talking about, it was just sometimes the way we think just makes me want to go up and shave his head. You don't need no locks on your head talking like that. You need to look like a white boy, seriously, because you sound stupid. All of what was coming out of his mouth was negativity about talking about how we settled. Settled for what? We made them respect us tonight like they never. We brought back memories of how we used to be. We didn't just get like this. And no matter what they doing to us, it shows you can't beat out what's already in us. God put that in us. This is something we were born with, and it ain't going nowhere. You might have thought you dimmed down the fire, but when it really needed to come up, it came out, didn't it? I rest my mic.
Yeah. And, they're saying that he rescued a fellow colleague, showing courage beyond his years. But it's just funny because some people use that as an excuse. But why only the black, quote unquote, colleague showed up? Where was all the white? They only hired black people there? I doubt it, But that was from his publicist. And a lot of people was talking about trying to give him a cash app for what he did. But, maybe that young brother should be encouraging others and showing others how to show courage and to how to swim on top of that too, and to swim to get to a fight, and maybe his training too, like whatever he does for training. I was at 16, but I ain't gonna say I could swim, get up there, and then, do all that, So, all right. And y'all got something to say about that?
I mean, but even with him jumping in the water like that, that was instinct. That wasn't planned. That was just Johnny on just coming through. He didn't even have to think about it. All he did was saw his brother in need. That's that younger generation. I'm telling you, these young folk ain't playing. These young folk is tired, and they want unity, and they want to see it come together. And we're going to see it. They're going to bring it together. They're going to bring it. This is not the last of this at all. At all. So you guys be ready. Have your candy bars. I'm telling you, being honest. Because this ain't it. It's not it.
Yeah.
I rest my mind.
Yeah. All right. So look, because you said something that I want to, because I could skip some of this, right? But let me show you this so we could get through it, right? This is also with the young brother. Now I showed you earlier what they were saying, where they was going to take up for each other. But of course we can watch this part, while he's hitting them with the chair. But and the thing is, consider how much money did they raise for that white boy who killed somebody on the train?
Oh my God, wasn't it like $2 million? Millions
wasn't
it $2 million, if I'm not mistaken?
Mm-hmm.
Millions.
Yeah, something like that.
Millions. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. For murdering somebody.
Yeah.
But they stick together. That's what they do. How much did they raise for Kyle Rittenhouse? Okay. Yeah.
Now we saw this brother might get arrested. I don't know, if a legal defense thing, exists, But I'm just saying, we see how they put their money together.
We should be sending money to him. We should be helping him. Seriously. Should be a fund for him, just like it is for the white boy. We should be sending $5 here and there. You guys come on. We should be raising some money for him to help him with his defense team. And this is what it should always be, a defense team. So we're not afraid to fight. There's a team here. My money's here. So when you do have to whip some behind, there it is. We're going to help you to get out of jail. Seriously. Come on. They can do it. Why can't we? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah, you good. Shanique, MG2, what y'all think about that? Because it's going to
I fully agree. I think that's something that is so funny that we haven't done it already, because every group has that kind of situation. Maybe they don't speak about it in the way that we're saying that, we need a group in case it comes to a point where we have to, lay some hands spiritually on some folks. But the truth is, that's exactly what it has to be. And they have their own little group and it works out, and then all of a sudden someone just capes in and, oh, now they're no longer a legal issue. We need to be behind one another for any instance, because it's not about, oh, right and wrong, because we know what's right and wrong. We're usually the ones saving their behinds when they're doing something to one another. So of course we need to step up and save our own selves when someone's doing something to us. It's as simple as that. And yeah, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have all these people that need to say, you know what, I'm pro bono in this one. I'm gonna help you out because that's what's the right thing to do. Simple.
Yeah, facts. What up, Black Maggots in the building? Yo, all right, so look, watch this, y'all. Then I'm gonna let y'all so I can go through the rest of this real quick, because I don't want to keep y'all up too late, because I'm curious. Now, this is the white boy here who got, supposedly, I think this is the white boy who got beat up. I don't know if it's true or not, but
really fucking throw him. Well, turns out that 65-year-old man could really fucking throw him. Well,
so supposedly that's the dude who got beat up.
Oh my God, let's just look at him a minute. Oh my God. Hit him again.
Oh man, yo, go ahead, you too.
The thing is I think all of us should specialize in being reconstruction surgerists, because I like how he, if you see that his face looks kind of like a relief map. It's got 3-dimensional topography, especially with the little things in his nose, because of the fact that 65-year-old put some hands on him. And if you look at his left side, you can actually, it looks something like, probably, you would probably see it on Google Maps on a 3-dimensional view. Maybe all of us should start studying reconstruction surgery, so therefore we could start putting hands on folks, because I really like I think the brother that did this did a really fine job on his right eye. And his left eye, he really, it's a lot of symmetry there. If you see, he didn't just leave one of them, he actually gave him a matching set, it just wasn't just one nostril. He had to put, so the brother's really good in symmetry. He's good in his artwork. I do have a little sense of his forehead, because only one side is red. So I think, and if you see the puffiness on his face, that 65-year-old brother, maybe we should go ahead and also send him some cash apps, so we can learn the techniques, that he used. Anyways, I'll pass the mic there, Brother Forecast.
Oh man, Shanique, I don't know if this is the real dude, but his face do look lumped up. I don't know, but what you think, Shanique?
I think that he got exactly what he was looking for, but he just thought that he had an easy mark. He thought he said 65. I don't know if he knew his age, but believe you me, he gave him 65 good licks. He got what he was asking for. And who can be mad? He even looked like he know that, oh well, it just was what it was. I got what I went there looking for. Okay. So yeah, every time you go out looking for something, trust and believe you're gonna find it. And now you can believe that we're not sitting here all, oh Jesus, and trying to talk about we love you. No, we know it's not about that no more. That time has passed. It's about something else. It's about recompensing those that trouble you. So if you trouble us, you will be recompensed. Simple. I yield.
Yeah.
But do we forgive?
I don't know about that. I really think people like that woman that got shot in the face. What is you talking about? Forgiving? Like what?
Oh,
no. Like something's wrong. Something's really wrong in your medulla oblongata if you feel like that. Because anybody else knows that you get shot, slapped, cut, anything. It's a whole kind of problem. And I'm a loving person, but it's a whole kind of problem. It's not about love. I take it to, I'm going to praying against your spirit. I'm going to the Most High Father, recompense. I'm going to, if I see you, it's on sight. Like that's how I feel. And I serve and worship the Most High. So I don't understand how anybody else can be sitting there talking about Jesus say love. No, stop. You got shot in the face. Come on. That's ridiculous. This whole idea that even he recognized he got what he came for. And everybody else that come for something, they're going to find it. That's what they need to get from this. Let the world get the message that if you come for Black people, you're gonna get what you're asking for. Hand it to you and package with a nice bow. I yield.
Yeah, so I gotta play this part for y'all because I don't know if y'all know this part. Hopefully, I'm on the right parts of it. Because these white boys have a business in Selma, Alabama that I think depends on the Black community, and the sister said some things and she said what Bakari says about going to tear up their stuff because they just may cash out on the insurance money as opposed to making them go out of business and suffer, and not doing all of that stuff. But that goes back to the stuff that Bakari said. I'm gonna just play a little bit of it.
Arrested. And I hate to say rightfully so, because I'm not gonna say their hands that they was throwing. And he picked up the chair and let me do this. The identities of these people are being exposed. I would like to see mugshots. Not gonna lie, would like to see mugshots. I'm sure those are gonna surface probably on Monday or some girl. They're going to surface. But this is what's being put out there, all right? So you have this person who is the owner of the Vassar's Mini Mart. And I do believe this is the same man that, remember, if you saw the previous video, then y'all saw a white man that was walking up the ledge, and the Black people that were recording said, "Where you going? Where you going? Take everybody down there, okay? They about to get into some action. Like, where you think you going?" I do believe that this is him and this is his page, okay? And he's the owner of the Vassar's Mini Mart or whatever he got out there in Selma. It's like a gas station, convenience store. I guess they cook food in there. You can go in there and get your food, whatever the case is. Okay. Well, now the people trying to get that shut down. Hello? Y'all see the people in handcuffs here, as I have showed y'all? Vassar's Mini Mart owners started it all in Montgomery yesterday. Stop spending your money with them. Okay, so for the people out there in Selma, out there in Montgomery, girl, you really thought they did something yesterday when they threw them hands down? Okay, it's time to keep them hands up in them pockets and taking their money somewhere else. Hello? So now they're trying to get it shut the hell down. Listen up and do it right now. Okay, so what he says is, here's Chase Shipman, a coward. I see he must have deactivated his account. That's okay. We still found you. Well, yes, I think Chase did deactivate his account, but he's commenting through his business account, and we'll get to that. All right. So what Chris Miles is asking is for people to boycott Vassar's Mini Mart, and he leaves the number. He says, since Donald Trump amped them all up this past Friday downtown in Montgomery, Alabama, now it's time to always got to attack the money, like always. Got to attack the money. You feel me? He says, so if you are Black and or brown and you live in Selma, Alabama, or the surrounding counties to boycott this location, Mini Mart. And Chase is coming to the front trying to make it seem like he had nothing to do with what happened. Boy, stop it. Okay. He says, yes, I was there, but I was the first to try to get away. You can see in the video I attached, I do not condone what happened. Okay. He says, I tried to stop it and realized that I could not. So I tried to get away. There is a video of me being the first to run away because what was happening was wrong and I did not want to be a part of it. I realized I have a business to run and represent, and no charges were part of it. But no, baby, this is after the assault took place. You see what I'm saying? This is after the assault took place. It was a lot of y'all over there jumping on that man. And I do believe that you were also in the midst of that. Get her up or whatever the case was. But I still need to see more. Hey, the fight would have never happened had your ass did what the man asked you to do the first time, which is move your shit. Because I was not involved. I know it was wrong. And it should have never happened. Go sit your ass in a motherfucking corner.
I'm trying to get to the part where she's talking about
March at Ollie.
I'm trying to get to the part where she's talking about try to get the point, because she says what Carly says. And
tear it down and do this and set fire and all this and that. I kind of look at it like this. I feel like, yes, intimidate, whatever. Make nobody not want to come to a point where, he got to shit down, whatever the case is. But I don't know the type of insurance that man has on his property, right? On that. So he might get a larger, y'all might be doing him a favor, in all honesty. A lot of times we come together and we be like, yeah, we gonna cause a scene and we gonna tear shit up and we gonna let them know we ain't playing. But it's like, are we really helping if that's the whole reason of having insurance, and the insurance is likely going to pay them out and they're probably going to make more money than what they was actually making with their actual business? And then they probably going to get that, invest in some other stuff and still be sitting good. Yeah, they may have a little bit of fear, you know, but at the end of the day, they could still be sitting back laughing, like, still played y'all stupid, you know?
So what's she saying? What she saying? Shut him down. I don't give a damn. Shut him down. Period.
Yeah, she's
Stop
saying,
your money in your pocket.
Yeah, she's saying like don't spend your money with them. Don't go like burn it down because they may get the insurance money and like benefit off it, you know.
Yeah,
but
no insurance money. They don't get no insurance money. All you don't have in the bank, that's it. And then burn the bank down. No, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna say that.
I agree with you.
So we can't get no money out. No. Oh no, but yeah, but shut them down.
Brother Forecast?
Yeah.
Not only to shut them down, but burn them down. And here's what I mean. Nowadays, insurances. Okay, now keep in mind that I'm always a contrarian, but I think all different ways. I say by every means necessary. If you got to burn them down, burn them down. Here's what I mean. Insurances nowadays are not really going and insuring folks for these type of things, especially after what happened with George Floyd. They have to pay extra money because they know exactly what's happening. And so a lot of things may or may not be covered. So I'm like, hey, why not take the chance? If you start seeing where things are at nowadays, especially after what happened, it's these so-called stores are now having to pay a lot more because the insurers are knowing, hey, especially if you're in a neighborhood that a lot of us occupy. Now, if they do get a payout, which might be the case, and they want to go ahead and start another business, if the other insurers in that new business find out the business they were in before, chances are they're even going to have to pay much more because they're more of a risk. So the thing is, I have to look again. Everything I look at is what our risk analysis. What's the risk? Do I risk this guy? He might get a $2 million payout and try to do something with that $2 million, but chances are it'll go out the door because if he tries to open something else up, they're going to say, what happened with your last business? And then if we're going to take that kind of a risk on you, then your insurance of what you had last time is going to be double because we know that something else is going to happen to you again. So again, it's it's kind of a it's a 6 a dozen of one, half a dozen of the other. So my thing is like, look, if you burn it down, just make sure he's inside. Okay, I mean, just make sure, or some of his family, so that way it's a 2-for-1 deal. Hey, why not? I mean, you brought up the situation with Elon Musk, and I have no problem with Elon Musk because he's an idiot. Okay, he is a white nationalist. He's a bore. He killed black folks in Azania. So hey, it's like me having a problem with a roach. I have no emotion with a roach. I kill it. Elon Musk should be killed. Bottom line, I'm not mad. I have no problem with it. If he ends up with a bullet in his head and it just so happens that the blind guy put it in it, so what? Hey, next. The thing I want is when Elon Musk does what he does on Twitter, you brought that up earlier. Hopefully that will inspire a lot of us to be the same way. Like the sisters are telling you about the young brother and Cash App. Hopefully that we could say, oh, Elon, that's a really good idea. Okay, you're going to start bailing folks out to do things. Can you imagine if somebody goes out like Colin Ferguson and some of us have the wherewithal to bail that individual out and get him over to, like one of these countries like Zimbabwe where they can't find him? I mean, yeah, okay, he ran over a busload of Peckerwoods, and he was pissed off, but now they can't find him because we don't have to worry about legal fees because, hey, he's with Assata Shakur. We can't find him. I mean, it's just a lot of us like to adhere to someone else's rules. Like I say, their laws, their rules, their mandates, their dictates, their protocols, their whatever, it don't mean nothing to us. Our laws are the laws of black folks to survive. So, hey, my thing is, if this Peckerwood that had that store, if something happens and they end up, he's in the water somehow and nobody knows how that happened, the first guy to die by ingrown toenails with a bullet in his head, so be it. Whoever does it, hey, power to you. Anyways, I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, and real quick. Let me say, Dale, I never seen him in the chat, but he going in the chat. So what up, Dale? You Got Ripped Out Black Mega said anybody can be tracked, you know what I'm saying? And that's true, you know. And I will say this, you know, as far as that goes, we realize that when it comes to this, you know, well, I forgot what I was gonna say, so I'll let Shanique go in. Go ahead, Shanique.
Okay, so I have a slightly different belief. My mindset is this: if you remove him from the planet, you're removing him from the planet. You got to deal with that with whomever you have as a maker. But if you remove all of the legacy that he intends to leave for this family, you've impacted him. You've impacted his mother, his daughter, his sister, his aunt. You've impacted everybody, and then they will learn. Then they will know. Because that's what they've done to us. So when we talk about recompense, when we talk about people getting their just desserts, I say, yeah, take everything. And there's a way to do that, because we're forgetting when they talk about canceling, they don't cancel anybody. They get the idea out and then we wind up canceling. We are forgetting where the power really lies. It's not just, that the money they claim, we don't have all the money. We're the ones buying all the crap that they make. We're the ones taking in all the food and poison that they give out. We're the ones promoting or not promoting all the filth that they're putting up. And so we can then divest from all that they are offering. So yeah, nothing will move from that man's store if it has anything to do with us. And let all his people spend all of their dimes trying to keep him afloat. I doubt they will, because they don't believe that. They're not for that. They're for themselves. So when what they've done to us, which is convince us that we have to be singular minded and we have to think of only ourselves, that has gone. Now we realize that the power is in us connecting. We are lights. We have to have a flame. We realize that now. And I want us to keep that going. We have to say, you know what? Anybody who's ever done, said anything against us needs to recompense. They need to know we don't buy none of your trash. We don't want it. We cannot stand you. We will torment you verbally. We will bully you. That's what we have to understand that we need to do. We will sit and be that ache in your side every time you see us, because that's how they've been behaving. They act as if anytime we're in a space that they're in, it's an issue. Oh my God, you're causing me discomfort. Yeah, well, now you will see discomfort, because they let too many of us get the clue that, yes, you really do hate us. For a while, they had the idea that, maybe they don't hate us. Maybe it's because we're poor. Maybe it's because we don't have class. Maybe it's because we don't have this. No, it's because you are who you are, and you can't deny that, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how many of their women or men you marry. It doesn't matter how many of their children mixed up that you get. None of that matters. There's a hatred that exists, and we need to remember that and start acting like we will self-segregate from everything. If there's anything they've done that they say, there's something that's wrong with us, we got a problem with it. No forgiveness. We got a problem with it. You didn't like that I had on a red dress and I'm black? Oh, no, we got a problem with it. That's how we have to be. We really have to get that energy and promote that. I'm trying to think of ways as we talking on how I can promote the idea that this cannot be forgotten, that we have to remember not just the, we kicked ass, but the idea of the why, because we are tired of being the ones receiving the ass kickings. And we're done. I yield.
I love it. Totally. I totally agree. Totally. They need to know that every time they step to us out of order, we're going to handle our business. And they need to feel it economically and flesh-wise. But no,
they need to shudder and quake. Oh my, oh dear. We know how they used to clutch their purse when a black male passed by. Didn't matter if he was a professional, didn't matter if he was a young person. No, clutch it, be afraid, be very afraid. Because the truth of the matter is, your time has passed. There can only be one world power, and we are it. It's our time. That's it. They don't see it, but this is the trickle of it. This is the whisper of it. It's coming. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's it right here and right now. This is the first of many ass whoopings that they're getting ready to get. Keep stepping to us, and we're gonna keep beating that ass. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. Seriously, black folks, black babies, our babies are tired. They're looking at us and say, "Okay, you older people, you're not doing anything. We got this, and we're gonna let them have it." But guess what? Cross border to make fun together. So when they need some, this is what we're going to use to get them out. Seriously, because they're going to need it. It's okay, though, because we made for this. We made for this. but he needs to be shut down, plain and simple. Like you said, I like what you said, Shanik. You said hurt his legacy. His legacy is that business. Shut it down, so he won't be passing that down to his daughter or his mother, whoever is in line for that. Shut it down. No more. That little boat that he had, all that need to be going into bankruptcy, because that
no more pontooning.
File lawsuits on all of their behinds, plain and simple. Because he was doing his job, and because I was doing my job, you're gonna come up here. All 8 of them need to have lawsuits. Take the boats, take the business, take the houses, take the car, take everything. Everything.
I think they're the ones that incited a riot. I think they should be charged with inciting a riot. That's what they did.
Yes, absolutely.
We were trying to get citizens arrests. How about that? Took a little extra work, but there you go. That's how I see it. Because when they do something, it's like, oh, you know what? There's always some legal justification, even though you're seeing it plain and it doesn't make sense. So right now we all see it plain and we gave that swift justice, but there's more to come because they can easily get people to forget this whole thing ever happened with the right booty shaking song, the right comedy show, the right stupidity to distract. All of that is to distract us from the righteous anger that we need to keep. Righteous anger we need to keep.
That's what they're doing right now. That's what they're doing. You don't see it on the news. And when you do see it on the news, you see the white boys fighting the black boy. You don't see what all them black folk coming out the woodworks. You don't see that part on the news. You see the part where they whooping on this black boy's behind. And that's it. And I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, they want to instill subliminal fear.
That's what Fox got them. Exactly.
They want to instill this subliminal fear that oh, we should be afraid. Look, see, you couldn't do it. No. The funny thing is that they tout our ability when it comes to sports. They tout our ability in these arenas of physical prowess that have everything to do with working for them, but not showing that, wait a minute, this can be used for defending myself. That aspect. The fact that you see instances where there are so many of our brothers or sisters shot several times tells you that they think that one won't do it. So you believe we are superhuman? Okay. Maybe we need to start believing that as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dale. MG2, you wanted to jump in there? Oh, my bad. I didn't want to cut the shit off.
No worries. No, I'm just enjoying the conversation. Nick, you said something that inspired me because when you said, shutting down his legacy, and then he'll pass it on to his daughter, as Cassandra said, my thing is, I guess that maybe his daughter needs to also go ahead and visit Elvis Presley and visit, maybe if he's got a son, I could send his son there to go ahead and visit Elvis Presley and hang out with him and shoot, if he's even got a goldfish. So I'm like, hey, okay, yeah, I'm inspired, so therefore he will have no legacy. They'll be passing his so-called goods to whatever else is left. Maybe there's a dog or something, but, because it doesn't matter whether it's a baby or whether it's an adult. A snake is a snake. And they all should have to have the fate of a snake that goes and bites someone. So, yeah, you inspired me. So, yeah, whatever his so-called family is, that's just more targets to me. Anyways, I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, all right. Let me do this right. Now, because I forgot what I wanted to say. I think it was a good point, but I forgot what it was, right? And now I want to show, I'm not going to play this. I can skip through it, right? But I wanted to show you this brother here, his unpopular views on the Montgomery. Because y'all mentioned something, it was a good point. It was something about like when y'all mentioned how when Cassandra said something about they don't show it. Now I can bet that y'all can guess what this brother is saying, and I'll show you one of the comments. A white chick here, Kathy Smith, love how you bring communities together and want everyone to be united, no matter what race a person is. And once again, you're 100% right. So you get the point of what he was saying. So I can skip it, right?
Well, we can see that his audience are white. So we already know that when white folks support you, you're not a threat. So we already know what he's talking. He's talking nonsense. That togetherness crap, which ain't working. We're done with that. So we moving forward and let him stay stuck in the past, but he needs to be dealt with also. So yeah, we don't, what he got to say don't even matter because we're not hearing none of that right now. That's back in, we did that. We been there and done that But now we're moving forward to kick some butt. We kicking some ashes, period. You put your hands on us, we're going to take care of you. Plain and simple. But we're going to let you put your hands on us first. Then we're going to handle our business. I rest my mic. Go ahead, Shanique.
Oh, yeah, no, actually, absolutely. And the funny thing is, I guarantee you from this point forward, they're going to have a stream of the various small woodland creatures come out and commence to trying to quash any belief that we should feel like actual people with righteous indignation against professed and actuated violence put against us. They're going to start talking about, oh, what is all of us? No, because all of us aren't being shot in the streets. All of us aren't getting our necks, getting knees on our necks. All of us aren't being killed in our homes. No, it's not all of us. So that's all of us can be for another time on your own time about your own thing. And it can be all of you. But all of us recognize what's going on. We recognize what needs to be done. That's the truth. And I don't know if anyone says that otherwise, then you have to question their motives. If it's not a motive because, they've got a relationship or they've got a monetary interest, there's some reason, there's some allegiance other than to their own blood that they're doing that. And the funny thing is that that's not something that other people have. I don't care whatever situation goes on, you'll find every other group of people stand behind the fact that, hey, but these are my people. Yeah. So that's the truth. Now, we're the first ones to say when our people are doing something wrong, oh, that's not okay. You can't rob and steal. The gang violence must stop. The black on black crime must stop. We were the first ones to say that. But understand, we are also the first ones to recognize when, hey, when is enough enough? When do we take our last beating? When do we take our last shooting? When do we finally say, okay, whatever you believe, go to him and beg him to get recompense? Father, help us. What is that? Whoa, there's a scripture that says, oh, goodness. It talks about make my hands to war. And I got to look it up. But the truth is, there is a mightiness that exists that's given from the Most High Yah. And the only thing that's been wrong is that we've not been doing what he wants. So he's not behind us. But I guarantee you, I think things have changed. I think the time is up. I think that there's a recognition that, hold on, you thought that you would just subjugate people forever. That is insane. That doesn't exist. It's not a thing. So yeah, they'll come out and they'll say what they have to say. And we need to hush them down. Shut up. We don't want to hear it. Go somewhere with that. No one's listening to that. You sound like you are giving nonsense right now that we don't want to hear. And that's how we have to express it, because I'm not hearing them. I personally don't want to hear that. There's no place for it. Right now, the place is for us grabbing hold to the unity that we see, that we're recognizing and keeping it going. That's where the place is. We have to keep it going. We have to build up that unity that is here, that is clearly here, that is innate, that we didn't have to go and say, let's have a meeting and a rally for, that we know right is right and you are attacking us and we have to defend ourselves because we've had enough. I yield.
All right. And so let me say the last thing. So because now look, what this dude here, I wish I could like piss y'all off, but y'all been saying something and then there's different angles of this, because if it's just a one-time thing and we don't capitalize off of it and use it and keep going. And then I also hear other people saying now even the quote unquote, I say clones, I'm gonna start calling them clones instead of the other word, So the clones that I even know on my personal thing with like the Facebook and all of that, they'd be like worried about what are they gonna do? Like, yo, we did this, but you already know they can't do this. And this is the part about being prepared and understanding. It's also meant to make y'all mad, but like for me, I try to find out what they like. I listen to everything, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to hear what they saying about, like, when MD2 put me up on the small that white boy when he first, MD2, you straight called it, because they start arguing about it like 3 days, 4 days after you said this white boy with this tridents in a small town thing, you know what I'm saying? So you straight called it. But the thing I want to show y'all, and this is going to piss y'all off a little bit, right? But you notice that a lot of the white boys have been quiet and stuff. Okay. I don't know if you have noticed that.
Clean is the equivalent to pulp. Whatever.
Hey, Shanique, you on mute
Forecast.
real
What I
quick?
have
Oh,
noticed
sorry.
is the average Black
What'd you say, Cassandra?
forecast.
Yeah, you hear me?
What I have noticed is the number one, the Black channels have not been really talking about this, or unless I've been missing it. You know what I'm saying? Haven't heard that. Have you? Or have I been missing it?
You said the Black channels?
Yeah, you know how I don't want to name you know, Brandon. I haven't heard Pan-Africanism talk about it, or either who is the other guy? I haven't heard them really talking about it. Usually they, usually they are first to talk about it, but that's just really odd. Really odd. Not heard a whole lot of that.
You already know, because that's why I even had this no-name dude here, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them aren't talking about it, and you don't see a lot of the white boy stuff. But I do want you to also understand, as Cassandra mentioned earlier about having a candy bar with extra peanuts. MD2 talks about, like, do you go to your own thing, like, patrolling your neighborhood. He talks about exercising, being in shape, because you never know what could happen. And right, we have a lot of fear in our hearts, you know what I'm saying? That's why we be like, well, I'm not about violence. No, like, justice is just. Sometimes that's what you got to be. Like, the most violent people got the most territory and making the rules, you know what I'm saying, right now, And I'm only playing this dude because I want you to see, like, a little bit of it, because it's hard for them, because they don't have much of a defense right now, and I don't know what is going to be. But I do just want us to be. It's not about being scared. It's about being prepared, so that we just not reacting, but we are responding. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding how the game works. You know what I'm saying? Now, this dude here had to step up for them to kind of like take up for them. So let me play just a little bit. I want to play certain parts of it.
In going out and working out my anger with white people that I've had no conflict with, that seem to be in retreat mode, and the thing is over. And this is when things turn really, really ugly. And in this last clip, you're about to see a grown man, basically.
Let me play the clip. I'm sorry. Play the clip just for honors, you know what I'm saying? That chair ain't even fold. Bob. All right.
The commentary is sad. Because if you watch the 4-minute clip before any first punch was thrown, if you listen to the commentary, the people egging on the conflict, and basically it's almost like two guys have squared off in a prison, and everybody's in their cells or standing along the railing going, "Oh, I bet you won't swing, or you need to swing on it," just egging on the conflict.
All right, so I know y'all not going to listen to it, but y'all can listen to it later. I want you to hear some of the other parts.
There's still a ratchet little girl on the inside of me to calm men down once their adrenaline and their aggression got to going, And of course, you are going to have to deal with Black women for doing that. And we're talking about women that's been fighting since 1, 2, 3 red light, been fighting since kickball. These are these big burly men fight each other. Even if I was involved with one, I would hope that he is big enough and bad enough to defend himself. I just didn't understand why the women felt like they needed to get involved at all. And, that people are actually feeling like this is some type of justice or payback from slavery or Jim Crow. And, people are celebrating it. And so I definitely think that he has already.
Okay, go ahead, Cassandra.
Forecast. We asked a question about why did the women have to get into it, the Black women? Well, because the white women were already in it. If she didn't see the whole video, maybe they need to play that back when the white woman with the green, light green dress, the aqua color dress, so white women were already throwing down. So we're gonna sit up there and do what? Nothing. She needs to take a whole seat and have a seat.
It get worse, sister. Go ahead, LB2.
The path of the righteous man
is
set on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you know I am the Lord. I lay my vengeance upon you. Y'all remember that from Pulp Fiction? That Ezekiel 25:17. Let me tell you something. Jason Whitlock and all these other bootlicks, I'll bet you after he got off that set that he and that sister went and popped some champagne, probably did a couple of smoked a little of the good chronic afterward and started celebrating. Because as much as he is bootlicking, buck shining, whatever, I'll guarantee you this, that was one of the best, funnest events. On television, yeah, they're gonna say whatever they got to say. But Jason Whitlock, he's looking like, man, when can this segment get over so I could go ahead and laugh my ass off? Because I tell you, man, even a coonish of the coonish coons, to see something like that, I'll guarantee you that champagne cork was going on. And irrespective of what goes on, I can't rationalize anything except for that Ezekiel 25:17 was going through that old 65-year-old brother's mind. I guarantee you in a heartbeat, and he struck down. Okay, he was Pulp Fiction. He struck down upon thee with his great vengeance. Okay, and his furious anger. And I'm telling you, hopefully, as I said before, hopefully this is not just a wake up call, but just telling Black folk, stop being scared. Just do what's right, because what you saw was a bunch of folks that did the right thing. I'll pass the mic.
Yo, MD2, what you said reminded me of what I was gonna say too. I was gonna say earlier, like like that scene in Harlem Night when we was talking about them being bailed out, like when Richard Pryor went down to the jail and bailed out all them people, like that'd be like a great framework for seeing like what these whoever got arrested on our side going down there making sure they out of jail. How many 132 people? Here's the bail money. You know what I'm saying? Cassandra, I think you was gonna say something. It should get worse here.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm not gonna play too much long. I'm gonna just play clips from certain segments of it.
Shown us where his side falls, and this is what we're gonna see moving forward. So I totally agree with you there. I don't think we're gonna see any type of fairness past what we've already seen from the police officers, who I agree with Delano did a good job.
And so this is why I reject this whole inference that, hey, we can't be racist because we have no power. I think you're going to see the exercising of Black power in Montgomery, Alabama, as it relates to this melee, and we have to cut it out. And
now those Black people in Montgomery turn racist, I'm all for it. What'd you say?
He talking about we have to cut what out? What did he say? Cut it out when they was beating the hell out of us? Is he saying cut it out when they was hanging us? Is he saying cut it out when they was shooting down babies in the street? But we gonna cut it out, but we gonna allow them to continue killing us. Dude, you can, man, look, whatever. Grandpa need to go somewhere and have a heart attack, a stroke, or something. Just shut the hell up and go do you, because we're not listening to any of it, because we don't care. We're done listening to old coons, old fools like that. We're done.
Shanique, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, no, he's exactly what I was talking about, the woodland creatures. This is the biggest raccoon I've ever seen, okay? Because I knew that he would find an angle. If he spent enough time, he could totally mentally erase the fact that he actually is one of those people that was on that dock and not the ones getting their tails whipped. He could not find a spot that would say, yeah, there was justification. I'm not even going to address that. But the funny thing is that they have to tell the truth to some degree. Had noticed how he mentioned, oh, I feel like it was like a prison. Yeah, it was like a prison. You know what the prison is? The prison that where our minds were, where we felt like we had to adhere to some invisible set of rules that say that we just take the ass whoopings and we don't give them. That's the prison. And when she's sitting there talking about what about, oh, the women, I don't know what relationship you've been in where you do not help and protect. And every time we've looked at any story that had anything to do with slavery or any other situation that had to do with white men and white women, believe you me, their gentility went out the window when they had to try to help their white counterpart. So that foolishness, the two of them really do need to go and smoke some weed, and maybe they'll find some sense, because they're completely lost and they are confused if they think that we're going to quash this, that they're going to stop people, that they're going to incite us to go, yeah, you know what, you're right, we should just continue to go back to getting our tails whooped. That's kind of what we know. That's not what we need to do. The fact that we sit in a world where men can tell us that they feel like women and they can wear dress and they think they're going to have babies and that we don't own periods. This world is upside down and crazy. And you think we're supposed to sit back and continue to take ass whoopings? Give me a break. Like this guy, he really needs to have a triple, double dog chili cheese dog and a large carafe of beer and have that stroke that Cassandra said he should. He really needs to.
Y'all cold-blooded.
I'm done.
Yo, shouts out to Everett in the chat. Shouts out to, like Megan said, Black fear is different than white fear because Black fear creates cowards. White fear creates Black death. K Shaw, shouts out to K Shaw in the building. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, K Shaw. Go ahead, MG2. You was gonna say something?
I agree.
Yeah. Shanique was right on time.
I love it.
Yeah.
God bless you, Pastor.
Yeah. I mean, Shanique was right on time with that. You know, I mean, it just, you know, I mean, you're gonna always have some folks. Again, like I said, they're uncode, but they're on the code for someone else. You know, I mean, it's just like, you know, it's, you know, you're always gonna have rotten fruit, okay? Or it's like that one slimy piece of lettuce and a new bag of lettuce, and it makes everything else go bad. You got to get rid of that slimy piece. And it ain't no different than the Jason Whitlocks and the unfortunate young sister that's sitting right next to him. The thing is, and I might be just, you know, you showed a picture there earlier, and I thought I was high, and I don't get high, but I thought I was high, and I saw a bunch of Peckerwoods in handcuffs, and one on the right side had a brother that was a cop standing next to a Peckerwood in handcuffs. And I was thinking, is this like, you know, Bizarro World or what, you know, because that is something I don't know if I've ever seen it in over 60 years. But the thing is as Shanique was saying, yeah, I mean, you know, you're gonna, I mean, these bootlegs, okay, the Jason Whitlocks and all of them, I'll guarantee you that when they get home away from them cameras, they know deep down inside that they're going to be like, what they say on the air is not what they hope for. And what I mean by hope for, because they know they're one stoplight away from ending up like George Floyd. They're going to need young brothers like, you know, the Marquise Phelps, as I call him, the young brother that can swim the English Channel to go ahead and save his fat ass. You know, so the thing is even deep down inside, the coonish of the coons, for lack of a better term, are more than likely saying, thank God there's something like that out there. Like the 65-year-old brother that gave the Peckerwood reconstructive surgery. I mean, you know, there's many of them out there that are, again, they're going to be, you know, tapping on their taps and getting on their YouTubes or getting on their so-called, television shows talking about, this kumbaya come together, like the brother you said earlier that had the white audience. You best believe he's sitting out there drinking a bottle of wine, going, "Damn, we could do that." You know, I didn't know we had it like that. It is what it is. I mean, I may be wrong. Maybe it's my Pollyannish view of the world, but all I could say is whatever happened, that was not just the Amazon Prime. That was like Prime Fights. Okay, that was like, hey, I'll subscribe to that channel where we're putting in, getting some licks before I do anything else. And when Cassandra talked about the candy bar, I want her to be able to see that and eat the bag of popcorn while I'm out there putting in work. Okay, because I don't mind. Hey, I might get my ass whooped, but damn it, I love a good fight. Okay, I mean, if something happens and I have to get up, and Brother Forecast, many times I've been telling you guys some of the things I gotten into, and some of them landed me in the jail. But hey, it is what it is. Hey, if I got to go in and I might take a couple lumps, get my ass whooped, at least let me get one solid punch like that other brother that's my age that went ahead and he gave the dude a couple of lefts and the right, and it looked like I said topography. If I could put topography in a Peckerwood's face, hey, give me 60 days of community service for that. I'll sign up for it in a heartbeat. Anyways, I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, and Black said in the chat, we need more fire session with the sisters, and I definitely agree. And I wanted to play a little bit more, but y'all get the point, because she was going to talk about Black people being racist, and that's been a thing. But this is the point of me even playing this, because it wasn't about the sister. I wanted a reaction from one of them, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to, it's just me. I like trolling them a lot, you know what I'm saying? But they are awful quiet. MD2, you are more up on it than I am, and I'll be searching it out. And they are awful quiet. Are they or not, or am I missing it?
They're shocked there, Brother Forecast. The most of them are shocked, like, oh, we could actually do this. You mean self-preservation is real? I think that's why a lot of them might be quiet, because it's being flummoxed. It's almost like it's like seeing a UFO or something. Like, whoa, what is this? Oh, this does exist. I think a lot of them will start talking, and hopefully we'll start putting hands on folks. Anyways, I'll pass the mic there, Brother Forecast.
All right. So I'm gonna be quick, because I think you're right, MD2. But I did find one white boy who was talking, and it's two parts I wanted to show y'all, because just to piss y'all off. I guess.
Scared, so I can't wait to hear his take on the.
I'm so anti-alcohol. You're asked. I think cooler heads prevail, but immediately you hear people chanting and egging it on, and I think that's part of, the drunk white guys. Again, I don't know that they knew too much what was going on. The Black dude, I think, certainly knew, which is why he was showing off when he threw his hat 50 feet in the air to start the fight. Like, all right, I'm ready. Here we go. I didn't care for that. The other thing is just that we could have planned this scenario out, and based on which color was on which side, we would already know the narrative, and that's frustrating. If it's a white security guard with a bunch of Black dudes, it's just a white dude who's abusing his power. If it's the opposite, it's just a bunch of white kids who don't think they have to follow the rules. It's it's so obvious to me. We're not having a real discussion. We're having a manufactured discussion. But I'll tell you my real takeaway, because all that I think seems like just common sense. My real takeaway, to sort of build off of what Shamika said, but a little bit differently. The white women in that fight were so stupid. I can't help them.
Okay, yeah, come back on, Cassandra. Come back on. I'm gonna add you when you come back on.
The idea that you would jump into that fight are crazy, but that's not my real takeaway. My real takeaway is the Black woman who was filming all of that, and her commentary was so disgraceful that I'm like, what have we done to these Black women? She was saying things over and over. That's
now Cassandra MD2, Shadiq, what up, JB? Y'all was saying that was one of the highlights, but he's saying it was disgusting. Like, what have we done to these Black women?
Black women. She has.
Yeah, go ahead, Shanique.
I think his commentary thus far is laughable. I think the comedy, if he brings up that Black women statistically are doing well economically or any of that bull, I will really just gag, because the idea of what you've done to Black women, I don't know, rape, murder, abuse. What do you mean? Subjugate? Stop. And the fact that you're sitting here saying she's egging it on, like, this is crazy. Like, they're really serious right now. I'm really laughing, because I don't think that they have the ability, the capability to say, yeah, we were wrong and we got our asses handed to us. That's just not within the realm of possibility for them. So yeah, that's what happened. And she did nothing wrong. The only disgrace was that people would not follow the rule of law because it was being disseminated by a Black man. They would not just follow. And the idea that, oh, it's because they were drunk, they knew nothing. Oh, they were drunk, they didn't know what was going on. No, they knew they were getting their ass kicked. That's what they knew. And it might have been buffered because they had alcohol. So tomorrow it's really going to hurt. So I don't understand how you can sit there with a straight face. But actually I do. Because we've been sitting here through it for the last, I don't know, as long as I've been living. So almost 50 years, we've been sitting through the bull that they spew out on their TVs, in their newspapers, in the manufactured reality that they've put across the world, that, oh, they are the moral right and we are somehow so horrible. No, it's clear. The fog is lifted. We can see. And now you're getting your just desserts. Simple. I yield.
Brother Forecast?
Oh, damn, my bad. I was saying, did you hear the video? You mute Cassandra if you saying something.
Well, I tell you, my video over here is acting a fool. I'm probably gonna get on my phone in a minute. But yeah, I heard what he said. He said, "What did we do to Black women?" Is he serious? Is he serious? I'm just like in awe. Did he say anything about the white women when they were in there? What did we do to them? But the white one has always interfered. They've always had their hand in some kind of whatever quarrel, right, with Black people. But did he really say what he said? What have we done to Black women? Where's he been living? Under a rock? What's going on with him? For him not to understand what's really going on here. But this is what happened. They want to gaslight. And that's what he's doing. He's gaslighting. Okay? You know exactly what you've done. Okay? You've cut babies out of our stomachs. You fed our babies to the alligators. You've raped us. You raped our children. You stole our children. You raped our men. So need I go on? And now you still stealing and raping and selling our body parts, trafficking our babies, our body parts. Come on. Did you ask that? What gave him the right to even ask that question? And not think he wasn't going to get cussed out about that question. I don't know what rock he's been hiding under, but I think somebody needs to educate him. Because that question was totally the most ignorant question I've heard in a long time. He didn't say that about the white women, though, did he?
Oh, he going to talk about the white. He going to talk about them in a second. Watch. Yeah. All right. It's one more part after this, and then we're gonna close out. But I want y'all to hear what he was saying because he gonna talk about them.
She was saying thing over and over. That's what you get. That's what you get. These guys are getting their faces pounded in by. There's 40 people jumping off a boat, and she's the idea that you would jump into that fight are crazy. But that's not my real takeaway. My real takeaway is the Black woman who was filming all of that, and her commentary was so disgraceful that I'm like, what have we done to these Black women? She was saying thing over and over. That's what you get. That's what you get. These guys are getting their faces pounded in by. There's 40 people jumping off a boat, and she's watching these 5 or 6 or 8 white guys get pounded. That's what you get. That's.
Yo, I didn't mean to cut it off, but yo, he's like, he said 40 dudes hopping out the boat. Now, MG2, like, you understand what I'm saying, right? You remember back in like 1712 when you saw 40 men hopping off the boat that time?
Yeah, I remember being on one of those boats in the hold of the slave ship. I'll never forget. You know, they took me from present day Benin, and they used rifles and they used So yeah, I do know a lot about boats. You know, especially being in chains in it. So when he said, "What have we done to Black women?" Now I expect sisters to go ahead and see the incredulity of his. because this is a different species. They're not us. They're a different. They're an animal. They're not us. We're the ones who are supposed to be. This is a different species of two-legged creature that I don't know what they are, but whatever they are, they're not us. One thing that I do know that he did for Black women is he inspired them. He inspired them on how to do reconstructive surgery on crackers, how to use IKEA chairs, or maybe that was a Home Depot chair. I got to check to see what the label was. He inspired Black women to go ahead and start putting hands on folks. So yeah, okay, yeah, this is what you've done. You went ahead, and hopefully that he's inspired brothers to get swimming lessons, so that way we can go and, should we have to swim, somewhere like in the Gulf of, Gulf of Mexico to kick some ass. I mean, hey, yeah. So if anything he's done is he's inspired me to go ahead and get back in the gym even more than I am now, and start saying, hey, well, okay, next time I see 3 or 4 white boys that are drunk and, some animals that rolling up on someone, so maybe he's right. What have we done? Yeah, you've inspired us to go ahead and go to war. I'll pass the mic there, Brother Forecast.
Yeah. So let me play the rest of it and go off here. All right. So
there's 40 people jumping off a boat, and she's watching these 5 or 6 or 8 white guys get pounded. That's what you get. That's what you get. Whoop, whoop. Bet you won't do that again. Bet you won't do that again. Over and over and egging it on. And I'm like, look, white women, I've been around.
I could just imagine they cringed when they was hearing it all boop, boop. They probably hated that.
That's what you get. Whoop, whoop. Bet you won't do that again. Bet you won't do that again. Over and over and egging it on. And I'm like, look, white women, I've been around white women, quite a few of them during fights. They freak out and yell and tell everybody to stop. And it happens over and over. Stop it. What are you doing? And me or the average white dude would be like, let the men settle this. Get out of here. I don't want to see you again until the.
First of all, what the. Is he talking about the same species that we talking about here? Because I don't think white bitches be doing that at all. They be, if anything, lying to start get a whole town massacred.
This is over. And that's how that goes.
Go ahead. MC.
Yeah, did Carolyn Bryant do that? When there was a little 15-year-old child that ended up with half his face in the river and whatnot, and his eye popped out. I can't remember that. That was a while back. I think his young brother's name was Emmett Till. Did she say stop or something? Maybe I'm in a different Alterverse or something. Go ahead there, Brother Forecast.
Oh no, definitely. Well, okay, consider back on. Black Megas, you came on here. What's going on, my brother? And then I'm gonna try to play the rest, and then I'm gonna let all y'all speak on, so we can, because I don't want to take up too much time either. What up, Black Megas?
Yo, BB488, Black Liberation. I just wanted to put this perspective into the chat on this thing, right? We're seeing as Black people are clowning about it, turning it into a joke. And don't get me wrong, I want us to be able to enjoy this. This is a W that we need, because we see this as a moment of actual Black unity that we don't see too often. If this would have happened when the brother Jordan Neely was being murdered in New York, or George Floyd and countless others of our brothers, sisters, and children alike, if this would have happened at those moments, we wouldn't even be where we are right now. So we definitely need to celebrate this moment. But I'll caution people, and that's why I put in the chat, Black fear is different than white fear. We're seeing right now online as a bunch of people, and I'm pretty sure y'all all seen them. Everybody talking about somehow I'm pulling up with a chair. I'm pulling up with a chair. I'm pulling up with a chair. First off, so many of these people who are making these videos are morbidly obese. So I don't know how many swings you're going to get with that chair. They're using plastic chairs. So you're going to bring a plastic chair to a gunfight? That's what's going to wind up happening. I want us to be able to keep this as a win and to bolster our people, but we have to be serious about the fact that a lot of these states are passing these open carry laws, these open carry these now legal to carry a concealed weapon without actual permits and certifications. A lot of people are now going to be carrying than ever. These crackers are going to look at this stuff here as, oh, they got a chip on their shoulder. So please believe, if we're going to start banging, we need to start banging because the enemy is going to be banging for us. That's all I wanted to say.
Can I respond? I got to respond. Black man, you know I love listening to you. But, and I'm pretty sure I'm a few decades older than you. I'm glad they're passing these so-called laws because they don't scare me. I don't care if they want to bang on me. My job is to bang on them. I don't care what they think of me or what their so-called laws or anything. What I care is about us preserving our destiny, not irrespective of trying to go ahead and rationalize what we got to do in front of them. This is decades, and like I said, I'm sure I've seen a few decades more sunsets than you. If they have open carry laws, good, that means we can open carry. I don't care if you have to use a chair, a straw, a toothpick, a feather, or even a bazooka or a nuclear bomb. You're at war, regardless of what it is. I don't care if you're overweight, underweight, or no weight. I don't care if you're obese or if you're anorexic. You're at war. And there's no rationalization and no fear and no justification and absolutely no constraints in you protecting your black life and the black lives around you. So yeah, let them pass their laws. Their laws mean nothing to us. Our laws mean something to us. That's the law of survival. That's the law of what these folks did over there in Montgomery, jumping in to help a brother that was getting damn near, they had a white gang beating him up because he was just doing his job. That's the law we follow. The law of Brother Black Magus that we follow is not a law of what we think we get off of someone on the internet. What the law we follow, my young brother, is a law of saying, look, you're on this planet one time, and that one time you got to make a stand. And if you don't make that stand, this same conversation is going to happen not only tomorrow, but 10 years from now. So I don't care what you have. If they're carrying, you carry. If you have a shoe, if you have a chair, and if you can't even walk or see, you do the right thing. Those black folks, Brother Black Magus, did the right thing. I don't care if you swam to do it. I don't care if you jumped off a dock to do it. They saw something wrong, and as Dr. Bobby Wright said, blood debts can only be paid in blood. Not only that, he didn't only say do what's justice. He said do what's revenge. And what I saw there, irrespective of what Jason Whitlock, that coon, or this little Peckerwood does, we saw revenge and we saw justice. And damn it, I want to see it again. Anyways, I'll pass Mike there, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What I'm speaking on with that is more along the terms of the cowardice of our people. You know, it's not to say that us here on this program right now are like that, because we know we're not. But we know majority of our people, as we talk about countless times on everybody's podcast that I'm seeing here, that's a part of this coalition, is that black fear that a lot of the masses of our people hold. You know, that's why they go for the Black Lives Matter narrative, where I could be gay and shake my ass in front of these crackers, but I know I can't never raise my hand up to them, you know? Like, yeah, we're good, but we're not all together. We're all branched out in different communities, different covenants and things of that nature, right? So if something was to happen right now in Alabama, yes, I know brothers and sisters down in Alabama who will do it, who will go to protect all of those who are not prepared. But we have to be able to have that done throughout the entirety of this country. You know, we have to be able to band together, and I like what Casidra keeps hitting on. You know, the youth. That's what we're seeing going on in Africa right now, with and you know, MG2. You even talked about this with Mali, Niger, and I always forget the third one, man. I always forget the third one. But we see what they're doing right now, and it's the youth. You know, that's what I'm talking about with this, is that we have to be able to get our people prepared. You know, like, hey, it's 2023. We can't keep saying oh, it's 2023. I can't believe racism still exists.
Can I say one thing, Brother Black Magus? That cracker was talking about a 65-year-old that gave him reconstructive surgery. So hopefully it's not just the youth. It's all of us that said, hey, it's the age of settling scores. And I don't care how you are. I don't care how broke you are or how you can't even walk or see. We're going to get our licks in, because we've gotten too many licks in for the last 5,000 years. I'll pass the mic.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I didn't see no cowards today. I don't know about you, but I see
the newness. I see Black folk being tired. I see our babies getting it together. Now, you know, and you just said that they're passing laws where you can carry, right? You'll be a damn fool right now not to. Now, I'm just saying, some folk gonna die, but a whole lot of folk saw today and they got courage. And thank God for what they nationwide they put on TV, globally, that everybody in the world saw this. That right there is giving Black folk all over the country, the global world, courage. And that's what we needed to see today. We needed this so bad. And do you not understand that by us seeing this as a collective whole, that they got courage like never before? So I didn't see any cowards today. I didn't see that. I saw people that was waiting for this opportunity, and they jumped in and they made it happen. So it's going to be something that's going to stand on the line. Okay, sit there. But guess what? They're going to get tired of sitting there. And guess what? They're going to jump in. So I'm sorry. I didn't see the cowards today. But just like this young man said, the white women, what'd they do? They was in there too. But this young man didn't see that. He said, "Oh, white women, they usually scream and run." They had their hands and they're just like, why you think the Black women jumped in there? Why you think they jumped in there? Because it's a new day. It is a new day right now. I rest my mic.
Yeah, it tore him up too. And this is a great conversation. That's why I got to come on here earlier, you know what I'm saying? And it's like one last segment. Shanique been quiet for a minute. So if Shanique, you wanted to say something about it, and then we
Actually, I do. I mean, I hear where the brother's coming from. My only perspective on it is this. If we quench this fire, then even those of us who are not prepared, even those of us who have never thought to do anything, we all go down together. It's funny because when you, like we mentioned, okay, war, right? This looked like war, and that's what they're afraid of. This looked like war on a small scale. But the problem is that war has been going on all along. It's just that we have been the ones that have been sitting and receiving all of the casualties. So at this point, yes, we do need to move with a little bit of, I don't know if I want to say subtlety or craftiness. We do need to band together. We do need to prepare. We do need to do all of those things. And we do need to get those who are not up to speed. And I'm not saying that I'm up to speed fully, but we do need to do that. But on the same vein, we cannot quench the fire. Now, I'm not one that's out in the street celebrating, physically. But believe you me, there's a tickle inside. I do believe that this was a long time coming. And I do feel like this is righteous. And there's a lot of righteous things that go on. And if they don't want to accept where they're going and what's going to happen, that's on them. But the truth will prevail. And that has to do with the fact that we have been subjugated and are subjugated, but will be no longer subjugated. So the only thing that we can do is keep the fire. You got a little kindling going, you keep blowing the flame. And maybe we don't want to blow it at, party, but we do want to blow it at unity. We do want to blow it at get yourself ready. We do want to blow it at, yes, we do realize that we have been treated and mistreated for the longest. That has to be not forgotten. Because like I said, there's a lot of people that we forget about that have some hats that they will tell you, never forget. That's what they talk about, the Holocaust. But you know what the funny thing is? We have been living a Holocaust and no one wants to speak it. It's like you can't whisper it, but it's going on and we see it. And every time we say we see it, they go, no, close your eyes. You don't see anything. It's not happening. So now we see and they see and they're afraid, but it had to come to an end. It had to, and it is. So yeah, prepare. Yeah, get yourself wise. As I had a hot mic and I was telling my son not to drink the diet sodas he gets from work. Yeah, like do all the things that prepare you for what could happen any day, because we see it happening every day. So there is no room for any kind of fear. But the scripture says, I will live and not die. That's what I tell myself every time I speak it. Whenever there's a doubt in my mind, the Father has me here for a reason, and I will live and not die. And I will serve the purpose that he has me here for. And if that is to be spoken of, then that is what it's to be. But believe you me, it will not be that quiet good night. No, I yield.
All right, and yeah, and Black Maggots, you should stay on here, bro, because we about to end it. But let me say this, right? And this is why I'm even showing this part, because it's important to always not only understand yourself, but understand your surroundings, what your enemies trying to do, what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Keep an eye on it, because like the sister said, like, you know, you want to have your candy bar with the extra peanuts, you know, because you know, there's literally think tanks out there to distract you. It is to stop you. Is all of these things out there to just stop you. And you never know when something might like go down where you at. Are you prepared to go protect somebody in your neighborhood? Are you exercising and all of that stuff? So it's definitely important to understand that, because at the end of the day, what we need to pass on down to every generation, I suggest, is that somebody's always going to be coming for the throne. So always be prepared for whatever somebody may do to you. So let me play this last couple parts, right? I'm going to try to make it quick, you know what I'm saying? So let me just go through it.
You're not going to jump in the fight, and you're also not going to sit here and scream about it. So get out of the way. And the black women are egging the fight on. It's the craziest thing. You know, I think back to the video I posted. I think it was an old video, but I saw it floating around on Twitter of the black woman, I think during COVID, berating a white woman about who knows what. She was a black Hebrew Israelite talking about how, who knows, crazy. And we've encouraged this behavior.
Hold on, let me finish, y'all.
For black women.
Why he want to bring black Hebrew Israelites into the conversation on Jason Whitlock's song on his show?
Oh, sorry. Exactly. What did that have to do with anything?
I knew I was gonna make y'all mad. That's why I wanted to play it. But hold on, he keep going? He's not even done. That's why I wanted to
go on
keep
occasion.
going.
We have a name for that. We call them white trash. And when black women do it, we call them queens.
Oh,
it's a terrible dichotomy. And again, I think the black women, it's like when white women act like that, and they do on occasion, we have a name for that. We call them white trash. And when black women do it, we call them queens. It's a terrible dichotomy. And again, I think the black women were largely the ones egging it on, screaming about it. I don't think the fight probably happens without them in the audience. It was a sad display, and
it was the woman recording
who had the video
that
likely
happened.
Posted it herself, has been conditioned to think that was a good look. And so, you know, as far
Let
as
me say, like, good look. You know who says that?
the race thing goes, that's the worst part of it to me.
Oh man,
We don't give a damn.
Wow.
Yo, it only
He's scared. He really scared. He really scared. We only talk about the things that we are really afraid of. I think that he's really scared, and he put a name to it. Black Hebrew Israelite. No, how about the fact that we are not, I'm sorry, niggers. We are not African Americans. We are not, what is the other word? I mean, there've been so many. There've been so many things we've been called. But what it is in his mind is united Black people in this country, because that's what all of their programs have always been about. How can we divide them? How can we get them separated? So yeah, you can say what you like. You can call us all, whatever. I'm sure he has a million other names he would like to describe the queens, but understand, peasants, yes, we are queens. Now, maybe some of us have not been behaving like queens because we follow y'all nasty behinds, but understand, yes, queens, always. Oh, I'm sensed. Oh, okay, let me calm down.
That's what I'm talking about. Citra, what you think?
I don't give a dang on what this cracker got to say right now. His words right now, it means nothing because he is totally afraid of what's coming. So right now he want to kind of put the fire out there. He want to put the fire out. He ain't put no fire out. This is not a fire that anybody will be able to put out. These white folk won't be able to touch this fire. I'm telling you, this is written. You guys have to understand where we are and where we're going. And this right here is the beginning of many ass whippings for them. And he knows that. He knows it. I rest my mic. He can say whatever he wants to. It don't matter. Because this right here, it's on. It's on.
Yeah.
So he better get his popcorn and enjoy his ass kicking. Period. I rest my mic.
Yeah, and he keep going. I'm gonna skip it though, because I'm gonna show you like who next, right? You know, because it keeps going. You know what I'm saying?
This is
'Cause
how to get.
y'all gonna be dealing with the Blasians even over in Africa. It appears to be. You know what I'm saying? So like this people of color thing.
Melee, and being a roof
of this weekend. I'll just put it to you that way. That were in the way, would this thing have escalated if they would have said, "Hey, you're kind of here illegally. Can you move it?" I mean, you could look at this 5 different fighter. You make a fool out of yourself generally most of the time. I mean, I'm watching this thing in Montgomery, and let's just put it this way: with those punches being thrown, Terrence Crawford, they were not. I'm just kind of looking at this, going, "Geez, folks, you obviously don't ever hit a heavy bag or a double end bag. You may want to, sharpen up."
Now, I wonder if when he like that group of 5 black men. Remember when I paused it right there? I wonder if he would have the courage to say that in their face. But you heard him, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, there's not exactly
Crawford, they were not. I'm just kind of looking at this, going, "Geez, folks,
so this
you
is the
obviously
future
don't
here.
ever hit a heavy bag
He's
or a
next.
double end bag. You may want to, sharpen up on the shadow boxing." But that was embarrassing. But what was also really embarrassing are the people like Jamel Hill celebrating like this, as if somehow this is like right up there with the Civil Rights March or the Montgomery or Birmingham bus boycotts. I think that's sad. I mean, that's really what you think of your own people, Jamel.
It was better than the
I'll
boycott.
What
say it.
what you say, Cassandra?
It was better than the boycott. It was better than the march. Trust and belief. All right.
Yo, they next, Cassandra. That's what I'm trying to say.
If that's what you think as a victory for your people, you don't think much of your own people then.
Whoa. You got to remember, I'm blocked from Jamel.
He made a really
good shout out to him, Sean. I love him. Love all the stuff he tweets at us.
Yeah, and he tweeted something to the effect, if you want to treat this as a victory and be so proud that we as blacks got together and fought a group of white people, but what about when blacks fight blacks? Because that actually happens a lot more.
That ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. That has nothing to do with right here today. We talking about y'all white folk getting y'all behinds whipped by a bunch of black folk, and you thought you was gonna get away with whooping up on our brother. Then you got mad and you got frustrated because you couldn't do nothing with all them niggas. Everywhere you looked, here they come, and now you mad. No, that ain't got nothing to do with black on black anything, white on white. What about the Russian war? Okay, that's Ukraine and Russia. That's white on white crime. Let's talk about the white on white crime, the shootouts that we have at Walmart and the daycares and the schools. So let's talk about that. So are we the only one with black on black anything? Everybody fights their own. Okay, so white folk fight white folk, and black folk, we fight who we're around. So for him to come up with this conversation right here, but this is so disgusting because you have a black man that's sitting here listening to this. He's interviewing all these racist white folk that's trying to get their dibs in because they mad right now because they got their ass whooped. That's all that is.
He was the first one to put up a defense. Like, I was the first one I seen. Exactly. I was waiting for somebody to say something.
Exactly. Yeah, dude, whatever. I rest my mic.
Let me see.
For emotion, and if you're in New York, pay extra for a cab or a limousine or an Uber. Do not go on the subways. It is dangerous.
The N-words is getting crazy out here. It's a revolution.
Being harassed by 3 young women, and I'm thinking
on in NYC with the guy that promised to give away PS5s.
All right. So that's enough, man. Because I could have showed a lot more. Shanique Krullo. All right. So I know Cassandra didn't mean to stay on here so long. So I'm gonna let Cassandra say what you want to say and then go in and I appreciate it. Her coming on. Cassandra, you want to say go in?
Well, I just tell you, this has been the best live ever. I don't give a dang on what they got to say. It don't matter. I just see right now, I see a turning of the tide. I see the new beginnings. I see the new of where Black people are going. And I think that this is what we needed to see. We had to have that permission to fight back. We had to have that permission. And it wasn't even where we thought about it. We just jumped in there and started doing it. And that what made my heart just flutter. It just made me feel like, man, there's hope. I got hope. I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is the best day of the rest of our lives, And yes, they're going to have their little stuff. So what? You got yours. You stay ready. We shouldn't have to get ready. We should already be ready because we already know how these crackers roll. And we're not fearful because we got that. We are going to continue to support each other, continue to fight with each other. You know what I'm saying? Against them. I'm not talking about fight each other like they talking about black on black. No, that has nothing to do with it right now. They just talking out they just talking, whatever. Doesn't matter. But what I saw today made me very happy. I'm serious. I enjoyed it. And I'm going to keep on enjoying it because this is the first of many. And we just had to have that permission, and we got permission. And now we're going to move into the second phase. And these crackers going to be scared. I'm serious. They're already scared because this was their worst nightmare. This right here was their worst nightmare. Now they are thinking, how are we going to, well, this is not normal. You know, they up talking about this. They are in their little boardrooms talking. What just happened? Did y'all see them niggas today? They didn't even expect this to happen. They didn't even think this would ever happen, but it happened today. So I know they're up talking about it. They're going to be up all night. While I'm getting ready to go to bed. They're going to be up thinking about it. They're going to be up talking about this. How are we going to stop this? What do we need to do now? What's our next move? You ain't got no next move because you're done. You're done. Your next move is you're done. I'll rest my mic. And thank you for allowing me to come. Appreciate it.
Considering, I thank you for coming on here because I know I'm like real late. I don't be meaning to be super late, but I wanted you to come on here specific, and then you did come on here. I wanted all of y'all to come on here, but like I'm glad you did come on here. So,
thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And by the way, and Black Megas in the chat said it's proof of the and I did mention the Jamie Foxx thing. I know my brother Maurice Muhammad mentioned it the other day. But that was just interesting too. But Shanique, so what do you think about everything and everything that you wanted to say? And shouts out to you and thank you for coming on here.
Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulty. Okay, so I want to be brief about it. If there's one thing I want to be gleaned from this whole thing today is that one, you never know when it's about to pop off and what could happen from that. I think that a lot can happen from this. What I want to happen from this is kind of like what was said on the boat, biblically on the boat, when one of the people on the boat, when Jonah was on the boat and he was going and the water got rough, and he said, all of you call out to your gods. So in this instance, I don't care what you call your God. Pray to that entity that you and all of us that are Black keep this unity and move forward against any and all adversaries. That's what we need to do. And the thing that they've used to divide us has been everything. The man against the woman, the child against the young against the old. You believe in Allah, you believe in the Most High. Okay, the Most High is supreme in my understanding. But believe you me, put your knowledge where you are at this present day to praying to who you believe in, that you see truth, and that it unites you against all adversaries. Because our time is now. As people I know say, we got next. That's all.
Yeah, definitely, Shanique. I appreciate you coming on here, and shouts out to you. Shouts out to Everett. Definitely. And yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate. This was a great conversation. And MD2, not only was it ladies first, you know what I'm saying, it's elders, because I definitely want to hear what you have to say, like, as is like the sum up of everything. And by the way, thank you too, because like y'all subscribe to MD2, because thank you for because I know you had one off, so I didn't mean to do that, and I apologize. So, but y'all subscribe to MD2, and thank you for coming on here too. So. Yeah, what you think?
Brother Forecast, I gotta thank you for having us on your show. Anytime the Casidra and Shanique, anytime I will be listening, like I'm a student in first grade. I'm gonna be listening because those are my teachers right now. Sister Casidra, just a lot of things that you were saying that just makes a brother not want to be fearful. It makes you fearless. Like when brothers listen to sisters tell you what the truth is. Like I said. Shanique was getting biblical on us. What I mean by biblical, I'm not talking about a book. You give brothers that are in their right mind the ability to go ahead and say, wait a minute, and we get fearless, like we don't care. We're going to do whatever it is because ain't nobody going to tell us what to do. And that's what I heard from these two sisters, Brother Forecast. That's why I got to thank you so much because, you know, like the thing that my dad used to sing us, you know, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Well, there's another addendum to that I think many brothers can learn from. Okay. And what I mean by learning from is we saw tonight what happens when we're just letting justice rule our instinct. Like I said, it's just what I saw was justice. We saw one of us getting harmed by many of our enemies. And we saw justice that these folks, like I said, probably didn't even know that this so-called term that we like to use called uncode. They just did what was natural because that thing that called righteousness that was in them. It wasn't a thing of like, you know, oh, we're going to do this because of we want to go ahead and be a world star. Because no, they did the thing that was instinctual justice. It was righteousness. You could get biblical, you could get Buddhist. I don't care what it is. They saw that someone was harming one of their own. And they said, this ain't going to happen on our watch, including the young brother that I called the Black Torpedo. Okay. They said, hey, we're doing what is right, irrespective of what it, again, I bet you if you went to any one of those folks and said, are you on code? They say, what are you talking about? They did what we talk about uncode, but they did it because it's something that's inherent in their being. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Sisters also brought up that you start seeing this happening in Africa. Of course, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, now Senegal, and now Chad. You're starting to see a lot of folks saying, wait a minute, we're doing what is right because we've seen what happens. I don't like to use the term take race out of it, but even if it was a bunch of Martians, doesn't matter. Somebody's doing something wrong to someone else. They did the right thing, not a Spike Lee movie. They did what was right. Black folks are getting harmed, and they harm the ones that are harming us. And there's an addendum to that thing my dad used to sing to us when I was a child, you know, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, because that was the thing they said back in the 40s. But let me tell you something else. It is something, and I think it's in Latin, and I don't speak the European language, but I'm going to try to go ahead and leave you guys with this thing that once we start getting rid of our fear, we're not going to sit there and try to rationalize, oh, we better do this and we better do that, or else they're going to do that to us. Or, you know, they're out there doing this, so we might have these limitations. Not saying that that's the issue, but I hear it a lot. But this addendum in Latin, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Anytime that you want to do something right, always remember this. Novit enum Dorminius, cu sunt ignes. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm going to leave on these words. It's about 11 of them. What that means is, no, there's not even 11 words. It's like 7 of them. Kill them all and let God sort them out. Y'all take care. Thank you, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, definitely MG2 and my brother MG2. Shouts out to MG2, Cassandra, Shanique. And I'll say this, you know, when we talk about this, I want us, that's why I've been doing this Black History thing, and I'm going to get back on it, and I'm going to be more consistent in a couple weeks, you know what I'm saying? But what I want us to understand is we did this on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I be talking about the Jack Johnson riot. You know, they got mad because Black people were celebrating that Jack Johnson won, and then they started tripping, and you know what Black people did? Beat them down and sent them packing, you know what I'm saying? It was like one in the 40s. I forget which one it was, but they was trying to mess with this sister. So her son went up there and whipped the dude ass and threw him through the window. And then when the people saw the Black dude beating up the white dude, they tried to jump in, and then other Black people jumped in, and then it turned into a whole big thing. You know what I'm saying? I forget exactly which one. This is not nothing new in history, but what I will say is, like, for my lifetime, this is like the first time that I'm seeing something like this. You know what I'm saying? And I just studying history, I know this is not new, but this is actually my first time seeing something like this. And it's something that we definitely need to see. And like a lot of people say, you know, like, you know why I feel so good? Because it's healing to the soul, because that's what speaks to you. Our emotions are smarter than us, actually. You know what I'm saying? We controlled by them, but once we know how to control them, then we would get to where we need to be. But your emotions is telling you this is how it's supposed to be done. Right? Imagine if this was done the first time, like, you know, at Raw. I'm gonna say the first time when the homie saw them, or not the homie, but I forget the name of them, but when they saw them land on the planet, they had destroyed them then. what you have done. And then one thing I would say is like, because we say we are not our ancestors, and I meant to ask y'all, and y'all can say a quick thing if y'all want to, but I would say, like, do you think we are ancestors now? Because our ancestors put in that work. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's the first time I'm seeing it in my generation, but you know, like, not that it didn't happen in the 90s, but I was too young, you know what I'm saying? But it did. Black people have been fighting this entire time. It's important not to lose sight of that. And that's why I talk about the history, because we've been whipping their ass for a long time. It's just in recent history, we lost even knowledge of that, you know? So I want to thank y'all for coming on here, you know, and I'm gonna let this be the last words. And I understand if y'all drop off because I'm gonna play a few minutes of it, but I think it's important because I called it the blueprint only because of this, but this is the blueprint. Because I often say, like, you know, maybe, like, I don't think our children born tomorrow have a chance, but children born today, they got a chance. If we capitalize off what we do, they got a chance. For the first time I can say that, you know, and we should be proud of that. And you know, it is what it is. So, and again, thank all of y'all. And I'm gonna let this be the last words. And shouts out to everybody that came in the chat. Y'all can all put y'all channels in the thing. Support Realm in the Bush, you know what I'm saying, and everything she's trying to do. Support Black Megas. He brought me on the radio, the you know, the Black owned radio. Support MG2, what he's doing, and go subscribe to him. Support Shanique, Everett, Bakari, everybody. Matron been doing lives, you know, subscribe to her channel. My bad. Hopefully she in the chat. If you in the chat, put your channel in there, Matron, and let me know when you go live, you know. But all right, y'all. So I get if y'all like drop off or leave out, but I'm gonna let these be the last words because I think they are important, you know. My bad. I messed that up.
And therefore, you need not be lured into purchasing cosmetics advertised to make you lighter. Neither do you need to process your hair to make it appear straight. I have good hair, and it is as good as anybody else's hair in the world, and we've got to believe that. Now, in your life's blueprint, be sure that you have that a principle of somebodyness. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have as a basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. And once you discover what it will be, set out to do it and to do it well. And I say to you, my young friends, that doors are opening to each of you. Doors of opportunity are opening to each of you that were not open to your mothers and to your fathers. And the great challenge facing you is to be ready to enter these doors as they open. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great essayist, said in a lecture back in 1871 that if a man can write a better book or preach a better sermon or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if he builds his house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. That hadn't always been true, but it will become increasingly true. And so I would urge you to study hard, to burn the midnight oil. I would say to you, don't drop out of school, and I understand all of the sociological reasons why we often drop out of school. But I urge you, in spite of your economic plight, in spite of the situation that you are forced to live so often with intolerable conditions, stay in school.
All right, so yeah, I thank y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you, Considerate. Thank you, Shanique, MD2. Shouts out to you, Raw, in the building, JB, everybody that came through. This was definitely a dope conversation. Robert Drip, Bakari, Dale. I've never seen Dale before. K Shaw. It's been a minute. Shouts out to K Shaw, Black Megas, Erica. Yo, shouts out to Erica. And this is why stuff is important, man. We should be able to help Erica, but we can't. You know what I'm saying? We pathetic. But all right. So thank y'all. MD2, Shanique, y'all good? Okay, well, Shanique fell off. MD2, you good? All right. So thank all of y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we gonna keep falling for anything.